Oh, we are live. Yeah, for you services. This kind of YouTube name. I'm saying, yo. hmm Welcome, guys. Welcome. I welcome you all. Welcome this evening broadcast. Welcome, guys. Sorry, I can't play any music now because we are live on YouTube also. We are streaming simultaneously on YouTube. hmm Yeah, you're welcome, guys. I see you. Yeah, well done. Good, bad, wow. I greet you all, guys. hmm Welcome. Let me share it on our WhatsApp groups, guys. Please, 1 minute. hmm Yeah, there you have it. I'm coming, guys. We are going to start in the next 1 minute. We are going to begin in the next 1 minute. Tell somebody to tell somebody. Share the video, guys. Share the video, everyone. Yeah, let's see who we have here. hmm Yeah, guys, share the video. Yes, well done, my brother. Demand them to share. Share the video, my people. Share the video. There you go. Well done, my people. Yeah, you shared it. That's nice. Welcome. Evening, my people. Evening. Guys, share. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Share it. Hit the like button, guys. hmm Uh-huh. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of the program this evening. We are not going to waste any more time. We have to go ahead straight to the topic. I know some of us here have been waiting, and I thank you so much for keeping faith with us, waiting for us to come at this much interview. I agree to those of you on YouTube. Sorry, those of you on YouTube, I can't see you if you don't comment because of the StreamYard I'm using. I'm using StreamYard, even those on Facebook. Sorry if I can't mention your name because if it doesn't appear in the comment section, I'm not going to see it. That being said, our program this evening is about 2023 Igbo president or Igbo political interest. Which one is it gonna be? Which one are we running after at this point in time? And which one is more feasible. To address this topic with me today is our brother. He has appeared here before. He's a great patriot, a great Igbo man, a great Nigerian, and a great African at large. He's the PG of Nero. So I'm going to invite him right now. I'm going to bring him on the screen to explain everything that concerns the Igbo political agenda in 2023 as he understands. So at this point, I want to bring on our guest, Dr. Paul Okoye. Yeah. Yeah, good evening, Dr. Paul.
Yeah, good evening, my brother. Good evening, viewers. Thank you for having me again. It's my pleasure to be with you once again. Thank you.
Yeah, we're happy to have you again, sir. Please,
thank you.
For the benefit of those who didn't follow us at the last program, you were here, even though it's not on this page. This is a brand new page. This is a brand new page. So even though some people may recognize your face, please, but for the sheer benefit of those who weren't here the first time you appeared, I would like you to use some minutes to introduce yourself fully, your organization, and how people can reach out to you before we get into the topic properly. Go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Paul Okoye. I'm an activist, a political analyst, and a consultant. I am the President General of Igbo Royal Heritage Worldwide, a pan-Igbo group, a socio-cultural Igbo group. We are not politicians. We are not into politics. When I say we are not into politics, because every man is a political animal, and those who say they are not politicians allow themselves to be ruled by their inferiors. One is to be present yourself for election or to be elected. Another is to be a political analyst, to stand on the window and participate or throw in your own ideology or your idea to shaping the political environment. We prefer to stand on the gate or stand on the corridor to try to contribute our own idea to shaping the political environment. So we are not partisan, but we play in our only two. We're trying to shape the mess. I want to be very emphatic. The mess that is called Igbo nation. Igbo Royal Heritage is a pan-Igbo group that transcends me and you. Actually, before the end of the war, the gods of our land met Chukwemeko Dimegochukwu and instructed that the war should end. That after 50 years after the war, those that were born after the war will come up and take over whatever that belongs to the Igbo nation. Ojukwu himself, formally in 1996, promulgated the Igbo Royal Heritage, initiated the Igbo Royal, floated the Igbo Royal Heritage, and along the line, a lot of things happened, and the project of Igbo Royal Heritage was truncated and was left lying until I was approached in 2006 to pick up the mandate. Actually, I still preside outside the country, so it's not always easy for one to coordinate what is happening back home from here. But I insisted until 2019, actually 10th of August, when I finally accepted to take the mandate. But I made it emphatically clear that if I have to accept the mandate of Igbo Royal Heritage, it should be precisely to try to evolve a mechanism to try to reposition the Igbo nation, to try to usher in a new league, because Igbo nation we have today is totally and completely dilapidated. It's Igbo nation is under total decay, which all of us are witnesses. I don't know whether it is possible to use certain languages because we are on air and many people hear what we are saying. That is the extent of decay. That is the point we have generated into. And it is very shameful, it is agonizing, it is disgusting. Because before it was no after Fulani, it was no, but we now saw it live. It is within our neck. To be very colloquial, koro eye. Nandi Igbo ne Undi Igbo, Bueva Noko, Ndi Igbo, Bundi Igbo, So how does this sound in 2021? This is the extent of decay. We don't discuss the economic quagmire, the economic impact, the economic situation, the economic catastrophe that the Igbo nation is living under. So before my acceptance of this program, this project, or my position as the President General of Igbo Heritage, I made it abundantly clear, since I don't want to offer myself any political office, then it has to be, my accent has to be to try to reposition the Igbo nation for growth, because onye ọbụla na-ege m ntị mara na onye Igbo gosi akwụkwọ kịta ka ife ọ ga-eme ọchị chọrọ ojerugo asa ọ bụ na ojerugo asa ojebe na Yoruba. We have no single state na Igbo that we can use to compare even for accord. So an Igbo is under total decay. An Igbo is in that need of danger. An Igbo is in that need of help. When you sometimes you lack word in the lexicon to define the state called an Igbo, because Igbo nwere ife niile in word of mankind, in word of human resources, in word of wealth, in word of intelligence, in word of wisdom. To cut it short, to cut this introduction short, all of you know now that now everything is shifting to Asaba. Ndị Igbo je dozie Lagos nata. Jedozi Abuja nata. Now anyị ejebego idozi Asaba. Within a very short period of time, Asaba will turn a mega city. Maka ife anyị ji aka anyị mụọ nwa anyị. If I just come animal, maka anyị eme sit at home, we want to fight for secession. And not that I'm taking this introduction very long, no, but no problem, why the reason for this initiative? Now, if we want to be honest to ourselves, because sometimes if the clinical history of any illness is not known, that illness cannot be cured. Now, why this initiative? Because I have said, and I insist by saying that Igbo, Amaro politics, we are politically naive. Maybe naive, but Amaro politics, and onye na mara ebe mmiri no mafia ara amebo na no we na akosharu. Now, Igbo, Nigeria was in our hands. We are totally and completely in charge of Nigeria, because it will be necessary to address a few history here, so to make you to understand why the initiative, why we are going to Umuahia, why we say, is it Igbo interest or Igbo presidency? Because we are clamoring for Igbo presidency. We pretend to be marginalized in Nigeria. So it is necessary for us to understand exactly if we are marginalized or not, or how did we come to where we are. Because mafia, now, most of you are young, so you may not know what transpired. And I want you people this evening to understand in the beginning, from inception, because why I want to address this aspect, that I know that somebody have told you that your problem is Fulani herdsmen. Look at it, it's your problem that Nigeria was amalgamated, all sorts of them you hear around. And the history has been thwarted, history has been devastated for personal and selfish aggrandizement. So for this purpose of history, setting the record straight, I want us to understand exactly how it started. Now, in the beginning, Nnamdi Azikiwe was a young man who went to study at Okoye Institute in Calabar. And then when he came back from Okoye Institute, he went to the US to study, and in the course of studying, he joined the Pan-Africanism movement. I don't want to take you into the long discussion or long story of Pan-Africanism movement, because of the Pan-Africanism. If I go into that, we'll take another day. But on his arrival, you have people like Kwame Nkrumah, that's Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, who is a Pan-Africanist, who is a leader, who is an older man in the struggle for the liberation of the black race. Now, but you have somebody like Marcus Garvey, who has led the Pan-African black movement those days before the coming of people like Zeke or joining the Pan-Africanist movement. So there's always a kind of movement that was ongoing. And how did this movement start? Because necessarily we understand how this movement started. Now, there's a woman that is called Susan Parks. All of you know that initially there's a law in US that if you are in a bus, that's racial law. If you're not in a bus, but you have to stand up for the white man, because it's an abomination for you to sit down when a white man is standing. And we have a woman that is called Susan Parks, and the woman was coming back from work on a good day, was very tired.
Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks, yes, Rosa Parks. And when the white man entered and approached and instructed her to stand up, she refused to stand up. And the white man insisted that she stand up, and she refused to stand up. The white man got to the point, the driver came down, and they insisted that Rosa should stand. But Rosa said she's not going to stand up for anybody, that she's tired. She's been doing it all day, but that day is a different one. She's not ready to do that. Now, she knew that she was supposed to, she would be taken to court and she would be imprisoned. And she accepted the big price. So that is how we started. Meanwhile, while Rosa Parks was going to prison or suffering this vilification because she refused to stand up for a white man in a bus, somebody like Martin Luther King Montgomery was moving a movement, moving for the liberation of the black man in the United States of America. These are brothers that were taken as slaves. Because why I want to address this aspect of my discussion this evening is that today many of us are in America, some are in UK, sponsoring killing and destruction in Igbo, vilifying also. We have Janjaweed, we have a Fulani Janjaweed, we have a but we still complain that we are being discriminated. We complain the white man is a racist and things like that. But we are our own racist. I will come to you because even if we would later get Biafra, maybe after 2-3 months there is going to be a civil war within Biafra. Because the other man, just to make you remember, after Abia State, they chased every other person out of Abia State because the civil servants that are in Abia are no longer Abia citizens. So they have to go back to their class. We have seen a lot of things, which is not the aspect I want to address to avoid digression. Now, somewhere in South Africa, Mahatma Gandhi was a law student. He has finished his law student. I was traveling to Johannesburg in a train. Now, in this train, at a point, the checker came in and Mahatma Gandhi, a young lad, was in the first class. And when he got to the first class, he wondered what a black man was in the first class. And he ordered Mahatma to come down from the first, to change the position from the first class to the second class. And Mahatma Gandhi said no, that he's got his ticket and showed his ticket. And the checker said that he must leave. Mahatma Gandhi refused to leave because as a young lawyer, he was conscious of his right because he has his ticket. At the next stop, they opened the door of the train and they with leg kicked him out of the train. And Mahatma fell off the train and he decided from then to lead movement, to lead the revolution, to lead the liberation, to lead the struggle. That's how we got the man called Mahatma. And we have many other people, like I said. And we always remember that the beginning of the liberation struggle is Marcus Garvey, who is a Jamaican. So now, coming up with this group of people, our younger brother was elder brother in the world of furniture, joined the struggle and was fighting for liberation. When he came back, he settled in Ghana and formed the Morning Post, which was the newspaper, later transcending to the east. And we had the first struggle that was arrested, which was the Igbo crisis and the rest of them. But where am I going? Now, somehow we go to the 1960s when Nigeria was done for independence. The Northerners refused. They said that they don't want to be independent. They don't want to join Nigeria for independence because they were backward academically. Now, we accepted to wait for them because Nigeria, Zeke wanted to carry everybody along as his own pan-Africanist understanding and conviction because every pan-Africanist believes that the solution of the problem of the black man cannot be Hausa, Igbo, Benin, Yoruba. We have our destiny is interconnected. The solution of the black man is a very global thing. No, you can't solve the problem of Nigeria without solving the problem of Ghana, or solve the problem of Ghana without solving the problem of Ethiopia. You see, there's an interconnectedness in the problem of the black man is suffering. And if I will have time to discuss how black man Africa was divided, Bismarck, who was the former president of Germany, in 1894, called Europeans together. They came together, took biro and pen at Berlin and divided Africa. So they divided Africa. So yeah, Berlin Conference in 1894. So that's how Africa was divided. Before we were existing as a unit, as a unit, as a people, as a group. There was nothing like Nigeria. And the point is that they did not do this for the interest of the black man. They did this for their own personal interest. They did this for them to be able to exploit Africa, for them to be able to manage Africa. Now, after the division and separation of Africa, had our own that is called Nigeria. I want us to remember also that the Second World War was fought. because of exploitation of Africa. But while the Second World War was being fought, people like Gabe, people like Kwame Nkrumah, and the rest of Pan-Africanists, they came together and agreed that Africa will not go into colonialism the second time, because the idea was that those that win the war will take up those countries that belong to Germany and those that love the war, and they start colonialism again. And they succeeded in stopping this second project of colonialism. However, there was a process of transformation that is no longer colonialism, but neo-colonialism, which we go through to become to become independent. So we went through this process, and after going through this process, we got our independence in 1st of October 1963. Now, when we got independent was Nigeria. And at that independence, Nigeria, Igbo were at the pole position. We were the front runner. We were leading the race. And I want us to remember, the first university in Nigeria was University College Ibadan. And 40 years later, we had University College at Umuahia. So the Yoruba started earlier. They were at the forefront. They were moving. Somehow, when we started much later, as fate or providence may have it, we have already caught up with them and overtaken. Because at the time of independence, we were leading. We were leading because up to 67% of the civil servants were Igbos. Up to 76% of railway workers were Igbos. Up to 60% of director generals in Nigeria were Igbos. All the director generals in Nigeria were Igbos. 40 senior military officers were Igbos. All the key and important positions in Nigeria were Igbos. So what happened? The president of Nigeria was an Igbo man. I've explained this before, and let me touch it again. I say there is nothing like a ceremonial president. The president is always the first citizen of every nation. Like we go to UK, we have the Queen. The Queen is the first citizen. So the Queen is the #1 person in UK. You cannot expect the Prime Minister to go and or the Queen to go and take salute from the Prime Minister. Or the Prime Minister go and take the salute from the Queen. Actually, it's the Queen that swear him into power. So Zik could not have accepted the post of the Prime Minister when he is the foremost Nigerian, the first Governor General of Nigeria. It's not possible. So he was the president because in a parliamentary system of government, the president is the #1 and is head of the judiciary, while the Prime Minister is prima pater, the first among the ministers. But the president remains the president. So I love for a long time, people have said, passed on this negative information that Abubakar Tafola was in charge because Zik was a ceremonial president. There is nothing called ceremonial president. The world we live today, there are still countries that practice parliamentary system of government. The form of government we practice them was a parliamentary system of government, and the president, as always, is the head of the government. Now, when we got power or when we had our independence, now, I've said already, somehow, for no reason, or at least a reason I cannot comprehend, your brother, who is my brother, an Igbo man from Onitsha, decided to organize a coup. And that person that organized the coup is Emmanuel Efad. And the president of Nigeria is Nnamdi Azikiwe, the wall of Onitsha. So we had an Onitsha man that organized a coup against an Onitsha man. This is the truth of the matter. Now, there are so many stupid things that have been said about this coup. But the truth about it is that the people that organized the coup were Igbos. Sometimes they tell you that they wanted to organize the coup when after the coup to bring in Awolowo to come and rule. Oh well, we don't know. We didn't hear that officially. That is speculation, because you don't tell me that somebody will go and lay down his life to go and bring another person to come and rule. But let us presume that that's what he intended to do. There's no fact to expatiate or support that. It's a speculation. What we do know is that Igbos organized a coup. Let us be very frank about it. Because part of the things we are not honest with is that we don't want to accept this obvious fact that Igbos organized a coup. Because the person that initiated the coup was Emmanuel Efadina with Onwa Tuegu. Nzogu was brought in by Yanu Foro, who is very good friend. Except for the Major Banjo that joined them, the rest were Igbos. Now, let us leave the people that organized the coup, because I've told you that the coup was initiated by Emmanuel Efajuna and no other person. No other person. Now, how was this coup executed? The execution proper. Our fallout was that 27 Northerners were killed. 27. And out of that 27, every important military officer from the North died. Now, if you want to organize a coup, the very first person you kill is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. The commander-in-chief of that armed forces was Nnamdi Azikiwe. He was not killed. Yes, he was outside Nigeria. But who told me that he was not informed there was going to be a coup to travel outside Nigeria? But let us assume that was a coincidence. Under the system of government that we operate in, when Zik travels, power goes to the Senate president. The Senate president then was Nwafor. So when Zik was away, the president of Nigeria was the Senate president, who was an Igbo man, who was Nwafor. Nwafor was not killed. Now, you cannot organize a coup without killing the most important military officer. The most important military officer, who is the chief of staff, was Umunakwa Agui-Ironsi, who is an Igbo man. Umunakwa Agui-Ironsi was not killed. Now, Ojukwu was in Kano, in charge of the Artillery Brigade. Ojukwu was a lieutenant colonel then, a very senior officer. Ojukwu himself was not killed, but every officer from the North was killed. Now, there are other killings I cannot understand. Killing the Sultan of Sokoto. Sultan of Sokoto is a civilian. It's like you organize a coup and go and kill governor of Abia State, or you go and kill governor of Sokoto State. What does somebody who is the governor of the Northern Region have to do with the killing or organizing a coup? Arrest him and put him in a prison. But you did not kill only Sultan of Sokoto. You killed the Sultan and killed Ahmadu Bello. You killed the Sadwana and killed the wife. You killed the wife and shot the wife in the stomach to kill the child, to kill the unborn baby. You killed the two of the secretaries. So I cannot understand these killings. And if we want to be honest with it, we have to be honest to the point, to the fact that this killing was premeditated. Let us assume it's a coincidence too, because Zik traveling outside is a coincidence. Let us say this killing is still a coincidence. Now, after killing these northern people, Ndi Igbo formed Wegu n'Ugwu Hausa and started mocking the Hausa. Ewu neba kwa alaluma, ewu neba. That was the music that we used in mocking these people. This was what led them to mutiny. They got angry and rebelled and started the killing. Now, other things that happened. I want somebody listening to me to explain to me if in the history of mankind such a thing has ever happened. Umunakwa Agui-Ironsi did not organize coup. The Senate president, who was Nwafor, put a call across to Nnamdi Azikiwe that he wants to hand over power to Umunakwa Agui-Ironsi. Umunakwa Agui-Ironsi called Nwafor, and they reached an understanding to meet. They organized a press conference. The president of Nigeria, who was the president of Australia, who was standing brief for this, handed over power to Johnson Umunakwa Agui-Ironsi. I want somebody to tell me, where on earth do you see somebody assuming power without any form of administrative function, without any form of procedure, somebody calling from us and give you power? Let us assume that this too is a coincidence. Umunakwa became president of Nigeria and they formed the unitary government, because some of the times we don't want truth, we don't want to tell ourselves is that we, the Igbos, have a greater blame in the situation Nigeria finds itself today. That is why we are calling this conference, because there are certain things we have to do. We have to heal the land and stop this semanticism and madness that people are going around carrying propaganda, telling lies for their personal and selfish aggrandizement. Now, when Umunakwa Agui-Ironsi became the president of Nigeria for the unitary government, remember that before the coming of Umunakwa Agui-Ironsi, Nigeria had a confederate status, which is what we are asking for today. Nigeria was a confederation. The North were in the North, the South were in the South, the Southeast were Southeast. That is how Nigeria was divided. There was nothing like unitary government. Power was not concentrated at the center. Everybody, the Southeast was in charge up to River State. That is the structure of Nigeria. Our own brother, Who is my brother? Who is your brother? Johnson Umonakwagu Ironsi. Pull down this Confederate status that was existing in Nigeria. Somebody who is still alive, Professor Ben Nwabeze. He called Professor Ben Nwabeze. Ben Nwabeze wrote the Constitution, Unitary Constitution, and Umonakwagu Ironsi took the Constitution that Ben Nwabeze gave him and applied for Nigeria. For some people who are telling me today that the constitution we have is 1999 constitution, the people did not approve, the people will not talk. I want somebody to tell me where on earth you know before you get a constitution, people, I speak as an authority in certain field. I have, by the spiritual grace of God, I read business administration, I read economics, and I read law. I'm reading law. So I speak an authority in certain field. I know jurisprudence, how constitution came in other countries. I can talk a country like Italy, that the president was so messed up because somebody said, could you take control of this country? And Mussolini, that's how Mussolini came in. So Nigerian constitution came in the way of constitution of other people, other countries came in. Now, what am I saying to avoid digression is that Umonakwagu Ironsi dismantled confederation in Nigeria. So we have to apply wisdom to it. Because when you go and tell the man from the southwest, the man from the south, no, Nigeria has to be restructured. First, try to tell him, we have made a mistake by pulling down the confederation that was in Nigeria. But because things did not work for everybody, now let us do it a different way. But stop applying sentiment to facts that are critically clear, to facts that every Tom, Dick, and Harry knows how it transpired, because nobody is a fool. I don't think they not are fool. Even if they are fool, they must have woken up. So first and foremost, we have to accept that we pulled down this structure in Nigeria. What are other things done that the Umonakwagu Ironsi did that is incomprehensible by a normal man? Now, the people that organized coup and killed the Prime Minister of Nigeria and killed 27 Northerners, none of them was court-martialed. None of them was imprisoned. All of them were put at Lagos Garrison Command. They were receiving their salary and they were eating their food. They would go to officers' mess. These are people that organized coup. Was there a coup or not? How can you take people who organized the coup and kill 27 people in cold blood? You didn't even come out, you did not court-martial them in the first place. Now, if somebody tells me that these people is not an Igbo coup, I want to ask you, how come these people fought on the Biafran side during the Civil War? Because during the Civil War, all these people, including Banjo, who is a Yoruba man, fought on the Biafran side. It was the person that was leading the Biafra troop to go to conquer Lagos. They were marching from Lagos, from Onitsha to Benin, to Abo, to Benin, to Ore. Before they got to and everything, everything was suffered the death and the destruction that they suffered. Because I thought it's madness for somebody to attempt to march from Onitsha to go and conquer Lagos. What kind of reinforcement are you going to do? But that's not the discussion today. The discussion is that this man that was Victor Banjo, who was part of the people that did the coup. So if it's not an Igbo thing, how come he was fighting on the side of Biafra? Now, if we say people committed no crime, Ojukwu was later to kill all these people. He killed all of them from A to Z because of conspiracy, because they organized the coup. But the federal government of Nigeria under Umonakwagu did not kill them. So we have to accept this madness, that this is how Nigeria came to the situation it is today. Nigeria was a democratic state. Nigeria had a democratic government, which we, in our own wisdom or in our own madness, in our own foolishness, pulled down. Nigeria had a confederal status, which we, the Igbos, in our own wisdom, in our own madness, pulled down. So the situation we find ourselves today is precarious. Nobody is happy about the situation of Nigeria. Because sometimes when I talk, people say, oh, you are, no, I'm not supporting anybody. I started by saying that I am not a politician. Yes, I tried to contest for Abuja Senatorial District for one reason, to prove a point. Because all along, Abuja Senatorial District has been left only for Gwari people. And I disagree that a senatorial district should be left for a particular people simply because they are the people that give us the land that will do the federal capital territory. That was one. So I went to that to make a point, not because I'm a politician. And I left. I don't carry card of any politician. They just concluded the election in my state. If I'm a politician, I should go there and look for maybe local government chairman or look for to go to House of Assembly. So I'm not a politician. What I tell you is the facts that you have been denied, that people don't want you to know this fact for their own interest. Because when I listen to Sorry if I use that language, because there are so many illiterates moving around in an Igbo. When I listen to any Baribe, who I consider an academic illiterate, or I don't know, I don't get the right language. I listened to him in a broadcast at Channels Television, and he was telling in Igbo that on the port is not functioning. Port Harcourt port is not functioning. There's water system in Nigeria. There's cut-off mark in Nigeria. But Enyi Baribe has been in the Senate for 19 years. Enyi Baribe was in the PDP government. The PDP government governed Nigeria up to 8 years ago. They met on the port. They did not change it. They met Port Harcourt port. They did not build it. They met Niger Bridge. They did not build Niger Bridge. They met cut-off mark. Cut-off mark has been there since Babangada's government. They met water system. Water system has been in Nigeria. How come Enyi Baribe and his PDP did not do this reform? Or is there any factory or any reform that Enyi Baribe did that Buhari pulled down? So when we fail to sit down to analyze critical these things, or we follow foolishly these mad people going around misleading our people, because the problem is that the youth are dying. The youth are dying. And Igbo is deprived, and we are suffering more deprivation. I said in the beginning, what I can know Igbo, we have basically nothing existing in the East. And the truth which we have been denied, I want to tell you part of that truth this evening. Now, I want you to know that Nikewa Nigeria, the loser is in the Igbo. Despite the fact no will not even sell it us divide, because if you live in a glass house, you cannot throw stone. Now we live in a glass house because we are the most vulnerable people. We are the people living in Kaduna, we are the people living in Lagos, we are the people that built Abuja. I think I don't know whether the statistic is correct, but Sanusi once said that 70% of Abuja belongs to the Igbo man. I wouldn't know how correct that figure is.
Impossible. Impossible.
Thank you. So we should be people saying no, there should be no division, because we are the people that are that have sold. We are the people that have invested in every part of Nigeria. But take that is me. Onye Hausa no na Igbo. Obu no bro chu China. Obu Megade. Obu no bro Megade. Obu Gateman. Onye Yoruba no na Igbo. Obu no bro Tailor. Obu mechanic. So, and there Yoruba when to lose na Igbo. Now, do we realize now the 5 southeastern states, GDP of 5 eastern states put together is less than GDP of Ondo State, because GDP of the 5 eastern states is 56 billion. I don't want to talk about Lagos, because GDP of Lagos as 2020 is 330 billion. The big GDP of Ondo State, gross domestic product of Ondo State, is 79 billion. So only one state in the southwest produces 3 times what the 5 southeast states produces. So my people, it is necessary that we should sit down. Now we went into a very stupid war. After Kai pulled down Nigeria, Mojuku was making his point that Gowon Jack, as he used to call him, cannot be president of Nigeria. What were his reasons? Because Jack did not organize a coup. But I want to ask you, did he organize a coup? He ruled. What is good for the geese is not good for the gander. The major reason why before the war is that he said that if the coup succeeded, Brigadier Ogundipe should take over. If the coup did not succeed, then Murtala Ramat Mohammed that organized the coup by Keda Gurus should take over. What is Ojuku's business there? What is his business? So if we want to go to analyze this for critical, what's the point is that we want to take a stupid war. Part of that stupidity is that before that war started, Gowon had divided the South-South states. So when you divide the South-South states and give them their own governor, they become antagonists and we lose the war, because South-East becomes a landlocked state. So we couldn't even continue with that war. I'm embarrassed that somebody who is a soldier, the first quartermaster general of Nigerian army, started a war with machete, just like what we did today, because Emperor told you that they will kill us, we will kill them, and after that, Biafra will come. But no one aware on London. She now said, well, if all the people non London on America, but they will kill us.
Wait.
So they will kill who?
No.
So this is part of the madness. Uwazulike came, they will kill us. Uwazulike is there. He has one of the biggest and largest outfit in Imo State today. You need a private university. He then involved with Okoye University. Emperor himself, before he was caught, was not even private jet. Living in opulence. So why don't we understand that we have made this grievous mistake? Now, one mad person, a jokotogo, Ademebia, Afuni Nefata. Today, everyone that cannot find food to eat, despite this madness, because they have to sit at home. Oh, when they start home, then they go useless now. They can no longer start all over again. Because somebody will sit at home from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Even in Europe, when there was pandemic, nobody closed the pharmacy, nobody closed the hospital, nobody closed the grocery store when there was pandemic. But in Nigeria, every Monday, we have to give birth in, deliver in the house. Mama gave one on a Sunday. You have to sleep with the dead body of your mother till Tuesday. That doesn't happen on earth. For what reason? Do we consider the economic damage we are doing to ourselves? What do we intend to achieve? Nothing. That is why I say that we are politically naive. That's the essence. That's the reason of this initiative. Those who are talking to you, they want to go and do this, they want to go and do that. Have you sat down to look at their record? Ike for a mother. He's been in the Senate for, I don't know, was Vice Senate President for how many years? Who told me? There was a question I asked, nobody has answered me that question. The question I asked is that, Anambra State, Imo State, Ebonyi State, then these three states are a good mother. My state in the PDP, the peaceful. So I begin to worry. Is it a political problem? I want every information to conclude totally and completely that we have a political problem. But the question I'm asking is, how come now I get the peaceful? How come Enugu the peaceful? But Anambra, Imo, and Ebonyi, so the point I'm trying to make, or why we are going to Mwaya, is we are asking a question. Ndị Igbo in 2023 should first and foremost realize that the continuous struggle takes us further away from Asorok, because as the case stands today, now Nigeria does not have a written constitution where it's written what is it called?
Referendum.
No, not referendum. They are such standing rotational president. It's not written anywhere. But somehow it has evolved and became part of our mechanism, political mechanism. Now, if you want to go and look critically and analyze critically, even in Nigeria. Now you understand now. Obasanjo actually go for 80 years. Although Obasanjo is the power went to the north. So Ndugushia, suddenly something happened along the line. That power went to the south. So in the south, I should go. In the south, power went back to the north. So the tendency is that power shifts between the north and the south. So in shifting to the south, it's not important whether it is a Yoruba man or it is a South man or it is a South Sea. The tendency is that after Buhari, power definitely must shift to the south. Now, it is logical. Only Yoruba about 16 years ago, only South 8 years ago. No only chief for a very long time, but only Southeast. But this logic is human logic. Because Obrosa is Lebanon ruler, I don't want the president to get Shaba. But when I see people like Azife going around creating more trouble than the one we have, how do you expect the people to trust you when you are talking about seceding Nigeria? How do you expect it's a project? So the continuous cry, the continuous crisis sends us farther away from Asorok. Now, there's only one problem we may have, or the major problem we have in going to Asorok is what? Is that now the Jagaban is interested in going to Asorok, and he has made enough political investment, and nobody can stop him. Because there's nowhere it's written in the Nigerian constitution that na Ndi Boyachi under Osagachi. It's an understanding, it's a political understanding, it's a political mechanism that evolved and is working for us. But Jagaban is seriously interested in this, in going to Asorok in 2023. So, Ndi Bodini ones, we should go and do our homework. I've said it elsewhere, let me repeat it here, because we seem not to understand that somehow the struggle for leadership in Nigeria are not between the East and the North, but between the Southeast and the Southwest. If you look at it critically, you will see that now all the Northern and Southern Nigeria will emerge through the force, through the support, through the machinations of the Southwest, taking it from Alhaji Usman Shehu Yar'Adua. I said it elsewhere, let me repeat it here. After the election in 1979, it was clear that nobody won that election. Awolowo was prepared. Zik was not prepared because Zik was not rich and he had retired to Onui Heaven when Jim Obodo went and brought him out of Onui Heaven because he did not see anybody to match Shehu Shagare and Awolowo. And sometimes in our political naivety, we feel no when they are Kifamalo. Because I need to Yoruba from the Yoruba, I need to America from the America. So Igbo should stop this Nanye. That's rubbish, that's madness. I'm this go to buy. But that's I don't want to digress. Now, that election after Kemecha, that election, it was clear in the constitution in the MSC election, if nobody won a clear-cut landslide, then they should go to electoral college. It was clear that nobody won, but they didn't want to go to electoral college. So they decided this scheme to hand this power over to the North. And who are the people that schemed? Obasanjo was the president of Nigeria. Now, the chief justice of Nigeria was Fatai Williams, the elder brother of Rotimi Williams. The judge, that all the judges that participated at the court, all of them were from the Southwest. Now, the lawyer of Awolowo was Okoye Ajayi, Sam, from the Southwest. The lawyer of Ali Usman Shehu Shagare, Prince Bola Ajibola is from the Southwest. So all the major players in that part were from the Southwest, and they decided to hand this power over to Alhaji Ali Usman Shehu Shagare. That is how we got the first democratically elected president of Northern extraction. All the Yorubas gave. He couldn't have, because if they have gone to electoral college, who was what the law said, Shagari could not have been the president of Nigeria. Or if he could have been, it could have not been the way he became the president. The only Igbo man that came in there was Chikobi in place of Akokaja, who were the two mathematicians that were brought into the code. I remember to the code to-third of 19 states, because the argument was that to-third of 19 states is 13 states. But because Shagari did not get up to 13 states, they brought mathematicians and all these kangaroo court to go and demonstrate that Shagari, although he did not have 13 states, won the election. And the court ruled. Fatai Williams ruled, and he became the president of Nigeria. This is the first Northerner that became the president of Nigeria, and did it here in Yoruba. I call names whenever I talk. The second also president in Nigeria, Umaru Yar'Adua, the senior brother, the younger brother of Shehu Musa Yar'Adua. Umaru Yar'Adua was the president of Nigeria. Mechanism is the Obasanjo, because Obasanjo was the president of Nigeria then. You remember that even Umaru was in prison, was in the hospital in Germany, and Obasanjo had to do everything to put him into power. So the second president of Northern extraction, now, the third person I am a president, Buhari, although the government of Goodluck was a disaster, because I were politically naive. We forget the Goodluck in Nigeria for 7 years, but all under Niger, all ordinary Niger breed. Under Goodluck, all the power within the Igbo, the chief economic super minister, minister of technology, minister of mines, all of them. Ngozo Konjiwala was almost the president of Nigeria. Gaddafi, the one, Dorako, and the rest of them. Obia is the president. But ordinary River Niger. River Niger is sinking, and they started sinking far back as 1990. Goodluck could share Nigeria for 7 years within the Igbo. That is why I'm asking you. 2023, Igbo presidency can need Igbo interest. Let me explain to you what I mean by Igbo interest. When I mention Nigeria today, we're not coming. But the first railway station alụ bụ nke na-connect Lagos na Ibadan. That is Yoruba interest, not an extraction, not an president. If I show Igbo president can show Igbo interest now 2023. We have to define this because all the people in the church in Nigeria, they are looking for their own personal and selfish aggrandizement. They have been in power, they have been the corridors of power. People like Iwan, then he was manager. He was secretary of president. What else would they need? What they are looking is for their pocket. Now, during the first term of Buhari government, Fashola was holding 4 ministries. Have you ever seen somebody holding mines and power ministry and 4 ministries? That is Southwest interest in a president of northern extraction. So this is why the question, this is why we are going to Umuahia. Can we decide? Yeah, we mentioned Igbo interest, could be Igbo president. Igbo president could be another good luck. OJ Kego, Ndi Ohaneze, 100 million. Ndi Igbo block vote. 100 million. Let us Justice Sozo, who was then chairman, come and say it's not true. This is a truth, or this is a blatant knows that it happened. Now the 100 million Ejigola Igbo, nothing else happened. Even on the Igbo Ketabune can also post. And Igbo remained the way good luck met it. He left it the way he met it. Nothing changed. He did not add, he did not remove. That's why we're going to Umuahia. Is it political interest? I need it. Called political president. I need it. 2023 now I'm working off. I need it. Of 2023, somebody who is going to serve my interest. Because the truth of the matter, even if it's bitter, I don't give a damn. Is an Buhari on the bus. Most of the structures are now look. We have produced the worst political class of leadership in the history of mankind. And when the kind of corrupt politicians that we have in the Southeast. Only seen the Kenaba, the pride of Igbo man, Enyimba City. Only wants to have a land or have a house. I want somebody to go to Aba, and when you go to Aba, you will understand the extent of the madness, the atrocity, the extent of wickedness, man's inhumanity to man. Could you imagine for more than 9 months? Christmas now does it 1 month. That is, it's been an ancient mechanism to subject the poor to perpetual poverty, to control them. Over something new. We need to go and take a little time to read a few books and understand. This is a political strategy. Okay, theology. Now look at theology. Such marvelous, for most wonderful and intelligent man in my liver. Monoch is the state. Tian when we are speaker. No, we never said it. Mother's was not the state. Ojuzokalu, she say. So theological history of staff. How do we explain it? Only sin and Igbo, the man the state. Anambra state. Since the history of mankind, I will go political system in the Southeast for 19 months. That 19 months political system I went. Academic local government election, Anambra state for once. Academic local government election. For those of you who say that IPOB is a wise man, a very wonderful man, I'm not disputing that, but to your question is in question. Question, Job, can you get IPOB organize the local government election in 80 years?
Yes.
The only thing IPOB happen in Igbo, Anambra state, beer factory. Beer factory, nobody even beer factory in one room. That's the only thing he left. And that beer factory no more than 50%. Will you be an Anambra state 80 years? Government kata enyegoze ocheti jalu ojelu ono no mule onya airport ego nekedi na airport cargo airport after 80 years akuvaka to you be an ojelu factory apo vice president obe no go to factory mwaka na alu na apa Ndị na-arụ shoe factory na-aba na-eme high school n'ụwa niile. Kedu president bịa inaugurate shoe factory? Why don't we jikere Enugu? Ana niile dị Enugu, gọvanọ Enugu eleghị etinye n'akpa. Ọ naghị osteji afa. Why don't we accept na anyị bụ ndị Igbo nwere problem? That we have to come back home first and solve that problem. Why don't we understand that the culture of money, that the culture of our culture is destroying us? Why don't we understand na anyị ji onwe anyị? Na nwoke ejiri anyị na nwaanyị ejiri anyị? Ego dị na Onitsha, ego dị na Onitsha na Nnewi is enough to develop the whole of Africa. But go to Onitsha. Onitsha can be lacking as a psychiatric home. There's no normal human being can be Onitsha. So why don't we accept this simple truth? No So we are going to Abia State. We are going to Umuahia. It's a political project. You cannot build a house without having a mechanism. It's an architecture or draw a design. It's a opening what a plan in Aluno. Issue moto, AutoCAD, engineer, but design a moto, even aircraft. I design first. That's what we are going to do at Abia State. And we have 4 noble professors, decent academics. We are not politicians. I'm not a politician. We are going to Abia State to go and rub mind together and draw a political mechanism, a political project, a strategy. Power is about strategy and investment. We must remove sentiment from power. It's about strategy and investment. Only strategy or win the person to shake. The only thing now, there's a consensus among the North. We must have to accept that they'll start. I don't care what you think. Because it's not the book and I want to ask you. You issue Megad is taking on also. Because all the Megad, all the drivers on an Igbo that are driving all the important people on an Igbo, fight happen in the house. So why do you hand your life over to them to protect if you don't trust them? The first and the more humble. Initially, I'm sure because they're more humble. They also be too much, and that is our own doing as a people. That is our greatest problem as a people. And the end of our trouble, and everything that happens so culture. Who was really care about culture, emperor culture, all the people that fought war are looking for their pocket. Is an emperor? Is an emperor? What do you call an emperor? We're discussing someone that says over the telephone and telling you so what do you call an emperor? So what I'm saying, gentlemen and friends, that we have to understand now, Nigeria today, they're not candy Yoruba. And then they get checkmate. I saw it just 2023. Now I want us to remember now the first 10 richest Nigerians. The first 10 richest family in Nigeria, the rest Yoruba. It is not by accident. Because you remember. Because even the war we lost war because through Awolowo. Over and outside I lose war. That was lose war. Awolowo, the people will understand the culture for Moduduwa State. When he came back, go and offered him vice chairman of the Security Council, and he accepted. Now, as the vice chairman and the Minister of Finance, the first normal is to change the money. When he changed the money, we lost the war because they go there and became piece of paper, became toilet roll. We have to go to central bank to pick our own money, which is part of the things because we need a total and complete program to discuss the implications of this madness because most of you cannot even define left from right. Why do I use this language? I'm sorry, I do not intend to offend anybody. Do you realize that if you have a Biafra, that without country recognizing you, your money is valueless, like we had in the Civil War. If no country recognizes you, where do you intend to go? Do you realize that if Buhari remove his passport from you, you can no longer travel? Which country is going to recognize you? Despite the fact that we're a landlocked state. We take the people that were lost during the war, 3 million people. That 3 million people, bona fide didn't do today. We could have gone far.
Engineers,
one mad person for his own personal and whatever he thinks it is, it's a proverbial disgrace to somebody who has over Shenstone. There's only one man that truly and honestly fought for Igbo people. Ofonye, I don't know Igbo, Wole Soyinka. Mbona no Igbo Biafra. Wole Soyinka left and Yoruba and came. And he went to go and stop him because it was genocide. Go on, Wole Soyinka was in prison. Wole Soyinka was in prison for 2 years and go and read the man die. He was the only person that genuinely sacrificed for the Igbo without interest. He came, he took a risk. No other person did it for the Igbo. He was in the prison for more than 2 years because of his struggle that the killing in an Igbo should stop. Wole Soyinka, I don't hear his name anywhere. Even people that are talking about Biafra struggle, they don't remember Wole Soyinka. How do you get Biafra? The South is not with you. Did we forget that DSP during the war we killed his family? He didn't forget. DSP. Did we forget that the first person that initiated Adakaboro initiated the secession in Nigeria? Ojukwu killed Adakaboro. The South has not forgotten. Aichebu Namayanabu of Calvary, Amayanabu was buried at Lagos because of his struggle for the Igbo during the war. So the South are not fools. They don't trust us. They are not with us. So it's not enough for you to stay in America or London and say an Igbo ends in Atlantic Ocean. Rubbish. Rubbish. An Igbo is Anambra, Imo, Enugu, Abia. Stop. Ebonyi. Yeah, that's Igbo state. That's Southeast. So you're on your own. Even Delta State, it's not with you. Midwest is not with you. So how do you intend to contain another bloodbath? How do we intend? Which way? In what way do we intend to fight? We are going to Umuahia to draw a political program. We are going to Umuahia to tell ourselves the truth, to look at the implications, to look at the way, because saying we're way to Asorok, and the solution to Nsobundi Igbo Asorok. Power is a phenomenon. Power is not free. It has to be fought for and conquered by the interested people. Power bring no katena no bega wole power pe kojegnaka. Anyway way, anyway price to pay. Anyway things to do to get power, and it is possible. It is possible for you to ascend that sort of 2023. But there has to be a coordinated action. Open this way we are doing it. Open Okoye and don't worry, remember I told you people, even in the and I want to tell you, if we don't listen, if we don't look what is right, 2023, Tinubu achieve Nigeria. I don't worry if I get many, nothing will happen. Yeah. I want us to understand that nothing will happen. Nothing. Listen, now go for Billy, now go for Caribbean, America, UK, then we worship there. If the level and nothing will happen. Nothing. So let us accept this obvious truth. I don't know who is directing or teaching you or advising you or telling you that there's something you can do. There is nothing you can do. What even the Igbo so is to use our brain to come back home, think out a strategy, make the right investment, build bridge. Because somewhere an ethnic group no Nigeria got you Nigeria alone. Ndị Hausa manchi alone. Ndị Yoruba manchi alone. Ndị Igbo manchi alone. So we need to build bridge. We have to go and mend fences. I engage those in the south. I never go to my first. We have to start from there. I engage Uvuno. I get one down soon. So I need the sorry. Let us become friends again. Because even in Nigeria is a consequences of the coup of 1st of January 1966. They have not forgotten, they are not fools. And we distrust. But it can be mended. Conscience is an open wound, only truth can heal it. So we have to first tell ourselves the truth. And when we have told ourselves the truth, we go and mend ways. Sorry. Then when we go and make peace, after making peace, we come back home. Then first, open 2023, and you want peace in our mind. There has to be peace. The whole world will see a Bokoton, and Kana division. America before 5 states. UK.
50.
America 50.
America 50.
Okay. UK before countries. Scotland, England, Wales, 4 countries. EU, 50 countries coming together. 27 countries, sorry. Can it go simple in total? Now, I want you to ask me one question. Those of you that are listening to me. Look at the composition of the world today. The president of Cotonou is president of a nation. He's a sovereign nation. So when you go to UN, the president of Cotonou will stand up as president after the president of America has finished talking. Meanwhile, Cotonou is not up to Onitsha. The president of Cotonou will go to China. China is 1.something billion people and take salute with the president of China as a president. Can't you understand the stupidity and madness? The president of Cotonou will go and sit in UN. The president of Europe, 27 countries, take salute. You come up and take salute. Can't we understand? Can't we see that the world is coming together? That the only way, Dr. Kwegia Agra of Africa told us, Kwame Nkrumah told us, Musa Diefo told us, that the only way is for a united and independent Africa. How can we be talking about division, although we can never succeed? If you succeed, my name is Dr. Paul Okoye. Oh, no, Kuskambo. I'm a Zezo. Any day happens, man. Is it not a because of what one hour? I take it Biafra to work. I take Biafra to was work. I take where we Biafra again. And each time we go, we lose one being, we lose lives, we have another setback. But Ojuku was really to drop Biafra. Ojuku himself that initiated Biafra joined the Nigerian project. Ojuku himself, he contested with president of Nigeria. How come Ojuku was really coming to Biafra? Ojuku was say stop the Biafran agitation. No brought solution to Nigerian problem. And Ojuku, he said it publicly. He was not hiding it. So how come we still do not understand? Now, there's no way. So, friends, the aim of the political project, where I'm asking a critical question. And so you made before. And we'll come back. 2023, let us stop thinking not Raka.
Please, sir, 1 minute. The seminar in Umuahia, when is it going to be held? Please, I want you to tell our people when he's holding the date, the venue, and everything. Then how to what to expect on that day, the speakers and everything. Please see if you can use 15 minutes before we bring people up.
Now, the conference is titled 2023 Political Project. Igbo Interest or Igbo President. That's the title. It is holding at Umuahia, Evergreen Hotel, on the 30th of December 2021. Time is 10 a.m. The speakers are 4 prolific professors. Professor Ajapuraja is a foremost political scientist, a world-known political scientist and a professor of international relations. We have Professor Okoye. Okoye is a senior professor at Abia State University. We have Professor Cosmos Anyakudo. Cosmos Akin from Leeds University. We have taken time to select these are senior academics, prolific academics, to come and rub mind together, to clear a pathway. We ask that question and answer it at home. Paul Okoye. These 4 senior academics are coming together to tell us what we are supposed to do. How do we get to Aso Rock? The language going forward of Igbo president, or somebody be credible. Because even if the person I chose is just Igbo, we cannot send him as Igbo. Because when you attach sentiment to it, I want you to tell me why the Osama should vote for you. So the aim of going to Umuahia is to draw a political project, like I said. Foundation, is a plan. So if this a plan, it will get to 2023 to Abuja. And after guys is a plan, when we now have a strategy, there should be a strategy, there should be a game plan. This is where it is done in this same developed place. It's not one man show as usual. Ndị mmadụ ife na-aga nọkọta ọnụ tụkọta isi ọnụ wee sị oke ndị mmadụ na-etu anyị ga-esi wee mee. And when we come out of this political project, we have another thing we are going to do, which is the Igbo Day. We attempt to bring the Igbos together, unification of Igbo nation. It starts at Ekweme Square. The date has been fixed. Ndị Igbo onye ọbụla bụ nwafọ Igbo will come at Ekweme Square. We present this political project we are going to form at Umuahia. I just present the idea ndị Igbo. Ndị Igbo, this is my own contribution. This is how we can get there. No, that's what we are going to do at Umuahia. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful, and our people have enjoyed your speech so far. I can tell you, I'm amazed, and I love your energy. Our brother here, Obi, the Ethiopian, is asking, where have you been all this while? Where are all these people you've been calling, and why haven't they been acting? And I know where he's coming from. He is one of the people that helped this criminal, Nnahafu Usembo Tukano. He is one of the people that helped set him up. When you are talking about people that believed the lies he was selling, because they themselves have the interest of our people at heart, and they were sponsoring, giving money, giving their time, going to places, inviting people, including recruiting people that ordinarily Nnamdi would not even have access to. These are the people that built him up, but because they missed the mark, they didn't do the homework well. So by the time they realized what Nnamdi was doing, it was already too late. And this guy did everything to soil their image. There is no type of insult. You see all these their noisemakers they are bringing online to be creating all these problems here and there. At the end of the day, find out that our people, not necessarily that we don't love politics, it's just that political direction. That political direction, that's what we need. And my people, I'm going to use like 3 minutes to talk now, then I will give our brother to wrap things up before we take questions. Listen, if you have a problem with your left arm and you meet a physiotherapist and you give the physiotherapist your right arm as where the problem is, as against the left, which is actually where the problem is. The physiotherapist can spend 5 years with you. At the end of the day, you will not be healed. The other hand will still be ailing you. You can lie to yourself that by the man's taking care of your right hand, somehow the left will be okay. You can deny reality all you want. At the end of the day, you are where you were when you started. That's why I'm telling our people, our problem is this. We really need to know how Nigerian politics is played. like our guest, Dr. Paul Okoye said, he said that the Yorubas are pushing in if they are the ones that are like the kingmakers. And it's not supposed to be so. One, let me tell you, the Yorubas have more land mass than Igbos, but the Igbos are bigger than the Yorubas in population. Quote me anywhere, forget what the Nigerian population census is giving you. Of course, you know, the Igbos, we did not participate in the last census, but do it this way. The Yorubas have,
because of Wazulike,
because of
thank you, because of Wazulike.
Because of Wazulike, who told our people not to vote, that Biafra was coming in 2006, that when Biafra comes, we'll have our own Biafran population census, which never happened, and people like us knew it was never going to happen. And we shouted, they called us names, called us up to us. At the end of the day, we were proven right. But then, count to the 6 states in the Southwest. In every major city there, if you stand at any popular place there, count 10 people. Out of those 10 people, you will find at least 2 Igbos in Ondo State. You will find at least 2 Igbos in Osun State. You will find that at least 3 Igbos in Oyo State. You will find at least 4 Igbos in Lagos State. Then when you get to Kwara, Kwara is under North Central, but mixed with Yoruba. You still find our people there. Now, when you go to the north, all the major cities there, like you go to Ibadan, apart from Yoruba people, the biggest number of people, the biggest ethnic group you see there are Igbos. Just like every major city in Nigeria, from north to south, everywhere, east to west. But then we have that thing which Yoruba people don't even have. But one thing they have working for them is they know that they have a target and they are pursuing it. In an Igbo today, if we have an Igbo agenda, it could be Igbo presidency or what you are going to get from any government that is not of Igbo extraction. You can get everything with your sheer number. In Plateau State, Igbos in Jos can decide how the votes from Jos will tilt. Igbos in Kaduna can decide how the votes in Kaduna will tilt. Igbos in Kano can decide how the votes in Kano will tilt. But when you are not even playing the game where you will use your prowess, it's just like a bird going into a swimming competition with the fish. You will lose. This is where no matter how strong an eagle is, if an eagle gets into a fight with a shark, the eagle will be eaten in the water. In the water. So we are playing a different game than what we should be playing. And this is what we must end. It's going to end by telling our people the truth, by educating them, by making them exist in reality, not a group of people who claim to be the wisest tribe in Africa, shouting Jubri al Sudan for how many years? Looking at the left ear, instead of focusing on infrastructural development, like our guest said here, the administration of Jonathan was an Igbo administration. Every key position there was owned by an Igbo person, someone of Igbo extraction. At the end of the day, what did we get? Now, you see why they did not allow us to criticize Jonathan. They'll be telling you, oh, our own. Because they themselves were making money from it, the positions they were occupying, they were using it to enrich themselves. Now, you are not even allowed to say anything negative. The only good luck's completed projects we were seeing were signboards. Signboards that are more expensive than the actual work done on the project. Those were what we were seeing. Audio project, cassava bread factory. How many trillion? 1.something trillion naira of those days. That is over 2 trillion of today. Over 3 trillion of today. If we tell ourselves naira, at the end of the day, we got nothing. So, my people, it's high time you stopped letting all these crooks rule us. It's high time we stopped letting them control the narrative, control the information, control everything. We need to speak up. We need to educate our people. Wherever you see one line, we respond to it with at least 2 truths. That way, these people will not understand. If we had come out early enough when Namdi started this nonsense and be exposing the lies, of course, by now nobody will be paying the price for the stupidity of setting up an armed militia. A militia, will you feed crystal men? No job, nothing. You lie to them at the extent that they started eating human beings and called it nothing. Where does that happen? In 2021. So my people, the earlier we woke up, the better. Doctor, please use like 15 minutes to wrap up every other thing, and if there's anything we didn't add, do it so I can key in the link here, and people will use it to come and ask you questions, if any, or make their own contributions. If not, we'll be wrapping it up. Please, I give you the 15 minutes now.
Thank you. And now, so as you have just rightly said, or you have been able to raise up some of the issues maybe that I did not outline in my discussion, because yes, the bottom line of our discussion, the bottom line of what we are saying is that now, I've said certain things in certain situations and in some other places, which I want to repeat here. One of the things I want to repeat here is that first and foremost accept that there was an error we committed. We fought a war in error. And when we accept that we fought the war in error, we have to accept that we lost the war. Part of the problem or the error or the mistake we made is that we still do not accept that we lost the war. No victor, no vanquished. There's nothing like no victor, no vanquished. The war was lost and won.
Yes.
So if we accept that we lost the war, we can be able to start to rebuild. But we are not rebuilding because we did not. It's a psychological thing. It's all along. I've said, let me repeat it here. All along, it's been the war of the poor and the rich. You see, the poor, you see, the inferior, they protest that they might be recognized. The superior, the equal protest that they will be superior. So that's how the word is. So when somebody comes and pass an information to you, sit down critically and analyze that piece of information. The brain is meant to think. We cannot allow our brain to give our brain to something to think for ourselves, to think for us. That is what brought us to where we are. That we don't even analyze the things that is happening around us. Like when we clamor for Igbo presidency, we don't even ask ourselves, in Kanye Chilachi, Kediva Chita, or Waka Namageju Ajano Mwaya, Kake Islamic, Kedini Buchi everybody. How come we don't ask ourselves that critical question? Now, the few things I went on Igbo, Kezi Kinyalani, and the Corona come back when Yalani, that since after the war, we never had a president, we never had a governor. That everything in Igbo is in decay. Head bridge. When coming to head bridge, our former first prime minister, which is the name comes back, I will let you know. The head bridge was built by Zeke. Namdasko Invest was built by Zeke. Why don't we accept these things? Why don't we accept it? Now, I don't want to it is time for us to sit down, take Bible and pen, and analyze critically. What have we achieved in the 6 years after independence? Can they find him go? Or can they enough for us to continue to complain? That complaint, can I complain here? Can we get power by complaining? Can we get power by pretending? Has anybody succeeded? Power is a serious investment, excuse me.
Okay.
Just 1 second, please.
No problem, sir. We are here. We are waiting. We are waiting. You can take some water too because you've tried. The energy is too much. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry about that. So we need to ask ourselves very critical questions, or we need to sit down and analyze. The journey so far. Because to do everywhere on earth, people sit down and do appraisal. People sit down and analyze the things they have done to be able to decide the way how to continue. According when now swat your another account, come on, account. How have we found all the governments that rule? Can it put our participation? What do we do? Why? What is stopping us? Or is so big for us to be able to tell ourselves the obvious truth and accept that we have failed? That we have failed. We carry ourselves around as if we are not better than other people. No race is better than the other. There's no single city. I've said it. So what are we what are we proud of for? Niger Bridge, since 1990, Niger Bridge is sinking. Since 1990. As we talk today, Niger Bridge can be around. Tafawa Balewa, commission River Niger for us. Tafawa Balewa.
And Jonathan couldn't even commission the second one.
You see, so these are obvious truths. We cannot in 2023 still look in ignorance. We cannot in 2023 not be able to accept the obvious. We cannot in 2023 not be able to understand the. To try is not that you are out to win, but when you win, you are fortunate. It does not mean that you got in 2023. If we succeed, we are fortunate. But the issue is to be able to do the right thing, not to call it and call it. I call it for a long time. I forgot about the Jacob, maybe better. I forgot about the Jacob a boom. I could go 1 year enough. I will do war. If I didn't, haven't we shed our own blood enough? During the war, on your mom was not sabo buonya. On your mom during the war, upon your sabo buonya. And you can't shed enough blood. How can we say now boy not have innocent blood that we shed? If I'm like a batabani or I blew madness, I cheat go, I try and kendala. I teach one, I try and kendala. Anything that lacks sense is madness. So, friends, dispatch this message, share this campaign, join it, join the campaign. No one man can do it alone. It's no longer the usual system of when ordinary America and shout others. No, I don't show like that. There's no one single person that has absolute knowledge. God has not given absolute knowledge to any human being. People a mechanic, you cannot be an engineer. Every engineer cannot be a bricklayer. People bricklayer cannot be a shopkeeper. And when they have when they got engineer, when they got doctor, when they got physicians. That's how the world is divided. One person cannot do everything alone. So it's a time, it's a participative politics, a participative group. Join Miro Worldwide. Go to our website, www.miro.com. Come to Umwaya. Even if you cannot come to Umwaya, share this message. Let us evolve a new mechanism because the world is about information. We are living in an information age. It's about teaching the people what is right. There's no other way we can do it. And what they're trying to say, if we don't start by reorientating our people, the situation will get worse. Ora kama, ona ajowanye. Ona emi fele na 2021. Etie na television. Edia no na wopto ku mmadu. Amila ami. 2021. Osai cargo na. All the bakers in Nigeria are from the north.
Yeah.
I can understand an armed robber, but I cannot understand a group of people. 2023. What else? What else are we expecting to rise up? What else are we expecting? It is somebody's turn today, tomorrow it could be your turn. Join it. Start talking wherever you are. Somebody must die for a country. It took Sherman Mao for we to have the modern day China. It took Abraham Lincoln for us to have US. It took Helmut Kohl for us to have a Germany. It took Garibaldi for us to have Italy. That's it. I am a great man in Nigeria. We don't have the likes of Kwame Nkrumah. But we have to accept that the world is moving. We have to accept that the vision is a thing of the past. You are playing to the rules of the devil. The enemies want you to divide because that is what pays them. They enjoy it. They exploit it. So they sponsor you. We don't produce ammunition. So how come it's flying everywhere? So it's time for the black man to awake from his sleepless slumber. Black man get you a tetanola. You produce oil. You sell one barrel of oil, $80. But a liter of fuel in Italy is 2 euros, 2.5 euros. In UK, it's £3 a liter. But you sell a barrel of crude oil for $80. How much is a kilogram of gold? 32,000 euros, 30,000 pounds. But a ring, how much does it cost? So don't you understand this? How do you need to understand that another way, another approach, another strategy? Why don't you understand that the black man with a collective interest, that our destiny is tied together? Kwame Nkrumah told us in 1963, but we listened not. When he told us that the only way out of our impasse is to united Africa. And when the medical students were Guinea, they want to be president. If you come, they say no. And they didn't understand, they didn't listen to him. And we are suffering neocolonialism. That's where we are today. Look at an Igbo. Somebody who doesn't have a passport. Also, if you share my Buckingham Palace. But when Queen spoke about this, I understand him. But Obama I don't understand when he speaks. The president of US, Joe Biden, spoke about understanding. Man, blacks, we copy foolishly. We copy foolishly. There's nothing wrong in copying. The ancient guys copied and made their country great. Singapore copied. They made their country great. Taiwan copied. They made their country great. Thailand copied. They made their country great. Indonesia copied. They made their country great. But what do we copy? If I copy Bongo, if artificial hair, that's what we copy. Complex. And what if I why don't we copy vendorship? Why don't we copy the hard work, the resilience? Why don't we change our approach? Why don't we understand that there's something fundamentally wrong with our side, with our reasoning, with our orientation? We have to touch our root, we have to touch our foundation. We have to start from there. That's what we are trying to do.
Thank you, sir. I want to bring on someone now because guys, you can now call in with your question. Come and ask your question. So if you have a short contribution to make, I will allow you, but I will allow the executives, members of the executive, to hang around in the background when they are done speaking. But any other person, if you have a question, you come now and ask our doctor. Right now, I'm going to bring in our brother Henry Chimezie to the screen right now. Hello, my brother. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, Dr.
Yeah, good
Paul.
evening. Yeah, good. How are
Good
you?
evening, good evening.
Yeah.
I hope it's the last time in America's program. Sorry, we have not communicated since then. You know, permit me to use our local parlance. First and foremost, good evening to you, Chukuka of Webu. You are my man of the year. And to everyone listening to Code 324, thank you. You see, Dr. Paul, he don't break the table finish. Oh. Table they manage. He just carry Monday hammer, scatter everything for us. You see, the problem we have in that country is absence of our own history. You've said things that most of us do not want to discuss. I'll give a clear example now. Here in the United Kingdom, they documented their history. The only thing they don't document or they refuse to document is the atrocities they committed elsewhere. And every statue, at least for the ones I know in London, represents a history. Say, for example, Trafalgar Square. That is where the Spanish invasion, the war was fought. You know, now you said, you know, you taught us, let me not say, you taught us about the coup and the, you know, the reasons behind it. But this is what most people want to deny. And we claim to have grievance. I agree with you, because the North has always said this is their grievance, that their elite were killed and us were not touched. And people need to remember after that coup, the other coup was a retaliation, you know, like a retaliatory coup. And people write history or they wrote books and they refuse, you know, to say the honest truth. I don't know what else to say, to be honest. In terms of the program that is coming up, honestly, I cannot be there in person, but if there will be a means to put it on social media, even if we cannot, you know, but at least let's listen and watch the program. That is one of the appeal. And that's one of the reasons I said, let me come on to appeal to you. I know it will cost resources. It will cost equipment. These are the sort of conversations we need. You know, you've killed everything tonight. To be honest, the only people or the only person that will be angry is somebody who do not want to accept the truth. We need to accept the truth. We need to move on and we need to heal. You know, you've said it all. And I always refer to an interview by Dr. Chris Nwabweze Ngige with a radio station in Anambra when he read out the portfolios of Ndi Igbo under the Goodluck administration. Now, most of them that will be saying, Emeka Ihede had won election, he was removed. I'm not trying to talk about Imo State election, but have they gone to ask what was Emeka Ihede's portfolio in the House of Representatives? He was in charge of constitution amendments. He spent over 6 billion naira. What did that amend in that constitution?
Nothing. Josh.
Not until we have to accept the major problem in Nigeria is a class problem. The politicians are the ones marginalizing us. I will always take that stand, not the Igbo man, not the Hausa man, not the Fulani man, not the Jaw man, it's the politicians. Maybe who would know in the next decade, it might be people of the Southeast that will take up the man to start crying. Then they will forget people like Edwin Clark, took all the projects from NDDC and they did not execute none. The first chairman of NDDC was Timi Alaibe. I don't want to go there because, I was close to a family that was close to him that, they should go and look how they lavished money in those days in Bayelsa. Now, the East-West Road, we're accusing Buhari. Jonathan was there. That is the road that crosses his region. They awarded that contract. Any person that applied that road 2017 by road on my way to Lagos, tractors are abandoned all over the place. Who is the contractor? I could remember the days of Obasanjo when he was accused of corruption. He began to make mention of names of people he awarded contracts, major roads, and the likes of Iwanyawu, Aton Zeribe, they all made the list. Now, let me go back to the days of same Obasanjo, the then VC of Futo, Professor Jude Njoko, then Adolfo Swabra. People need to go back and understand where we're coming from. The whole PTF project, none is executed. Let's ask ourselves, the whole Petroleum Trust Fund project that we are giving investors, which one did they execute? Which single block did they build?
Not one.
And want to, sometimes it's laughable. When a matured individual, say for example, like my brother Jele said in one of his programs, as individual, I need to fix myself. If I don't fix myself, the government can do nothing for me. Because preparation makes this opportunity. You've touched it everywhere. Today, Tinubu is crisscrossing the length and breadth of Nigeria. He's politicking, he's negotiating. I cannot sit on the fence and think because I feel it's my right, it should be given to me.
Yes.
This is politics.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work that way. Even when when Tony Blair won the prime ministership, he brokered a deal with Gordon Brown. Is there. People should go on YouTube and watch it, or BBC iPlayer. They reached an agreement. They negotiated that he will only do 2 tenures and he will hand over to Gordon Brown. Even, let me fast forward to 2015 after the Brexit, when David Cameron left. Before, Theresa May, they brokered this and they negotiated. Between Michael Gove and Boris Johnson, they reached an agreement. But I don't know why we think, or majority of us, like you rightly said, we think we're intelligent, but we lack that emotional intelligence. We need to understand this. We need to play the politics. Rightly so, we've had people, like when it comes to the center, I said to people, even if you make me the president of Nigeria, Nigeria will not work. Not because of the constitution. We have a cultural and behavioral problem. That if we don't fix that cultural and behavioral problem, Nigeria is going nowhere as a country. It's not just about the politicians. The politicians have that cultural and behavioral attitude. The citizens have the same. First, we need to begin to look at so many things. And we need to look at this thing in all honesty and holistically. We have a lot to do in Nigeria. First, we need to stop seeing things from ethnic lens. And we need to believe that the best, the technocrats, are those who needs to take over the position. Say, for example, now, without a cultural change, it will be difficult for anybody, or for Nigeria to become a sane society. So, I said, let me thank you so much. And my brother Jele, like I said to you, I don't know how to thank you again. If I say how to thank you, then I'm not being honest to myself. Because my brother, I've watched Dr. Paul, I follow him. His discussion tonight will not go down well with most of us. But the only thing people should ask, did he speak the truth or not? If you believe he spoke the truth, then look for a way to realign. One key thing in life is you learn, you unlearn, and you relearn. Most of us will begin, it's time for us to begin to unlearn what we've learned and begin to relearn. Like you rightly said, we're in 21st century. You know, the world is dynamic. The world is moving on. We cannot be stuck on a certain kind of concept and believe it's that way. No, even in today's economics, they have modern economics, no longer, you know, Adam Smith's theory. Things have moved on. You know, my brother Ijele, thank you so much. Honestly,
thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
But before you drop, let me tell you, you can join Nero too. If you hand your WhatsApp number to Ijele, we add you on. Like I said, it's an all-inclusive project. No one man can do it alone. Ndị Igbo si ebe nchi nọ, ebe nchi fọ, nya bufe nri. And you see, ebugo m sị na onye na-agba ọsọ na sị na-abịa n'ọgụ. Again, enwere any other method to do it. It's a mass mobilization campaign. If we don't do it, 2023, I'm not question. Because, like I said, somebody must emerge as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In 2023, nothing can stop it. The question is who? Nigeria cannot divide. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you think. If Yoruba want to divide Nigeria, we will kill them, they will keep quiet. If people want to divide Nigeria, we kill them, they keep, even if I also want to divide, we kill them, they keep quiet. It's a project that nobody can break. So it's an illusion for anybody to feel that from no, besides, where do you have the magnanimity? You have the resources. Ega wata no sabe obro ke eje janu na ega janu obu na na-egwupụta egwupụta na kedu ege janu obu eke for 7 ke janu. War starts with naval officers that go to missiles now working to missile for 20 months. Then the Air Force comes in. After the Air Force, the final are infantry, they come to sweep. So do you have anything to fight? You are landlocked. Is it not madness for anybody to think that you can fight? It's madness because first you are landlocked.
Dr. Paul, let me just come in. You see what is missing is conversation. You see, the problem is our governors, they don't care about these situations. That is the honest truth. Say, for example, they can use, you know, media platforms like the program that's coming up on the 30th. This is a program of conversation and engagement. And Ohanes and Igbo, they are failing in this direction. By now, I see no reason. Number one, we live in an age of technology. Ohanes and Igbo, they can bring youth that are tech savvy, or they can hire a media company, or they can even use my brother Ijele. All we need is gadgets and, you know, to create an account on platform. It can be on different, you know, they can stream it simultaneously on Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, you know, different venues. And we have this conversation. At least they have the people's feelers, but they are distancing themselves from the reality. Like, for example, if we fail to have this discussion, the mistake will continue. If only from 1999, when Owazirike started all this, none of us, or let me say, the sociocultural group, the politicians, clerics, and, you know, everybody from the East, they felt less concerned. That is why we are seeing it with this generation now. If only then that thing had been discussed, at least, even if it will occur, they can mitigate the situation. You know, all I've seen, we don't have any lesson learned. We might be surprised in the next 10 years again. Somebody will rise up again with this same storyline.
Nah, it won't be possible. No, it's not. It won't be possible.
Ijele, let me not just close because I know we have other people who want to come in. I'm more than happy to be on the background. Dr. Paul, I will reach out this time because last time I promised to reach out, and for one reason or the other, I forgot. The problem was Emeka didn't get back to me, but this time I will reach out to you via Ijele, and I promise that, and I'll keep an eye on the 30th. Please, once again, if the program can be shared, I'll put that on my diary. So long, you know, I'll put it on my diary. Even if I'm at work, I can always mute myself and, you know, discreetly listen to the program. Thank you so much, my brothers.
You're welcome.
Thank you, my brother Henry Chimeze, for joining. And now I will bring another brother to the screen. Henry Chimeze, we thank you so much for your wonderful contribution. We enjoyed your speech today. Our brother is joining us. He joined us the other time. Hello, my brother. Good evening and welcome to the program. Can you see us, Azuka? Hello? Hello, are you there? Oneka Azuka. Hello? He's not here. Okay, I will have to remove him from the stream. And right now we have our brother Ichie Obido Bienu joining us at this point. I will bring him on to the stream. He said he has some questions for Dr. Paul. Okay, Ichie, good evening, sir. Good morning over there, your time. Welcome.
Thank you so very much, my brother. Thank you. I couldn't hold. I know there's a lot of noise where I am here, but
No problem.
I'll
It's okay
manage
with us.
Okay, so I want to thank you for this program, and thank you, Dr. Paul. This is a new era again. For me, all I'm thinking is, how can we get ourselves out of this mess that we are in right now? Yes, you said so many things, some of which I did not agree with, but I'm not gonna be here debating it because I'm not hosting the program. Issues with some of this history we don't know, and as you know, it's only few of us after the war had the opportunity to get this education and get in depth with some of the things that you have said here. Most of the time, it's just hearsay and stuff like that. One, I must disagree with you.
I think he has a call. Don't worry. Okay.
What has
Sir, we are losing you. Hello, Che, can you hear us? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, I can.
Oh.
I think he's rebooting.
I think he will join back. I love this type of conversation. At least let him ask you questions on areas.
Let's see how much he disagree with.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, because I will tell him that I don't care whether he's the one hosting or not. I want a healthy conversation where both of you will be exchanging, and I will be here just like any other person, observing everything that is going on. Don't worry, he will join back. And our brother Azuka that joined before, I don't know why he couldn't come on when we brought him up. Now he has left the studio. So, sir, are there other things our brother Henry Chimeze raised that you want to address, or any other general? Okay, I think we'll have him back. Okay, we'll have another person. Onyeka is here. We have Onyeka. Onyeka is here. Let me add him to this team. Hello, good evening.
Good evening and good morning from South Korea here. It is early in the morning, and I always try to make myself available to be able to watch your program. Greetings, Mr. Paul, Dr. Paul, and as well to you, Ijele. I don't know if you can be able to hear me because the network has been disturbing.
I'm hearing you clearly.
Okay, now. Well, I appreciate. I've always been a fan, a huge fan of yours since you started this program and the awareness. I appreciate your program so much. And I welcome Paul. I have always listened to him each time that he appears on the program. I make time to listen to him because he was always the kind of person that speaks the kind of truth that my spirit accepts. So you are highly welcome, sir. Now I want to chip in an insight and as well ask a question concerning the insight that I'm going to lay out illustration on for a moment now. Now, if you go to an Igbo and in our Igbo land, there is this popular radio station that premiere or air an IPOB program 1 hour, usually every day in Igbo land in Southeast. I don't know if they are getting the station in every other part of Nigeria, but I'm aware there is this particular radio station that premiere or air IPOB activities in an Igbo. Why I am concerned about this IPOB program being aired in an Igbo is like it's bringing a kind of let me speak in our own tongue so that I can be able to stress out what I actually wanted to say. Ọ na-eweta nsogbu to our youth. When I mean our youth, our from 18 to 16 years are aware of this nonsense that IPOB is propagating in an Igbo. Because why I use this language is like when I travel back in April this year, in my local government, though it's not in my hometown, but in my local government, I overheard a 16-year-old boy telling his fellow friend, same age mate, Kahabo, that Biafra is the only way after I turn back and look at this guy. I know my all exercise can media. I turn back and look at this boy. I saw that he's aged very young for him to be using such narrative at that early stage. Or get up for secondary school, he may be in his early stage in secondary school. But if you see the mindset and the information that he is sharing in the village, deep down in the village, the thing baffled me. And I asked myself this question: from which platform can these boys what this information? If not that particular area, if not particular that radio station, you understand me, that is airing IPOB program in an Igbo. That thing put a problem, that thing put a worm, that thing put a worm on itself, and it's eating down a mighty tree, Iroko tree in our midst. I have a good idea, yeah? When and then man, the only means to share an information or do very, very fast, but one-on-one information. Forget about all this media sharing. The media sharing, when government of Nigeria or we have a program that can block or blacklist most of these programs, it will not be airing again. Like if you come here in Korea, it's not everything that you put out in the air that will come out. It has to be filtered before it will come to the public. If you go to China, it's the same thing. You understand me? But when it has come to one-on-one fellowship, when it's one-on-one sharing of information, all the very, very dangerous. All the very, very dangerous. And that thing is eating us up in an Igbo. As I am telling you now, this is the problem that we are having. You understand me? How do we, the question that I have there, I laid this illustration now to ask a question from there. How do we stop that particular radio station that is premiering or airing an hour program of IPOB in an Igbo? Here a very big problem in our midst. Thank you very much. Here one of the questions that I have. And as I listen to the program and I watch, I will always remember to ask questions because I have a whole lot of questions to ask. I like Remani Igbo. I am a kind of Igbo person. Ngana Igbo, I told you, I'm quality to like Igbo Benam because Igbo Benam cover. And I wish and I pray that Igbo will be better than every other state in Nigeria. You understand me? So I would be deep concern when it comes to Igbo land and naturally I Igbo because it's going to be a better place for us and our future generations to come.
So
thank you very much.
I will let Dr. Paul to jump in on that one and answer. Sir, how do you think we should stop all those broadcasts from getting to our people? Because believing comes from hearing. If these people don't hear all that nonsense, they wouldn't be believing all that rubbish, like Jubilee Sudan and the rest. Please, give him your answer before.
Well, you see, there are certain things that I said, and let me repeat it here. Now, part of those things I said is that now, because of no, because of the fact that no, scam or no, is doing his own thing. Menya, because he did a wonderful job. You know, I'm not a politician, so I don't have anything against anybody. He was able to sensitize the Igbo nation. But because of no any genuine intention, that's why he messed it up. Do you understand that now? Let's assume no somebody no imagine our web. Do you imagine no sponsor candidate in another election okay win? Sponsor government a candidate then will win. Now, how do you talk about secession without political action? Even South Sudan,
representation.
even South Sudan, what we did was that at the end of the day, the war was able to convince the president of Northern Sudan. He accepted referendum. That was how it got to South Sudan. How do you start talking about Biafra without a political action? Because you cannot divide a country peacefully. The end point is war.
Exactly.
Now, can you be so stupid to the point that you don't know that you don't have the power to fight the war? Because you are aware, you know. You cannot be so stupid. Even if you are so stupid, can all of you be so stupid not to know that after the Second World War, Eleanor Roosevelt set out to build a bloc, and today we have a bloc that is called NATO. We have a bloc that is called UN, which is against secession. Now, there are so many things I still let me repeat here, because you have so many educated illiterates in Nigeria that are fueling this campaign. When you have an educated, when you have an uneducated lawyer, when you have a miscreant, like someone like Dr. Michael Zokem, or someone like Femi Falana, going around Nigeria, telling Nigerians that self-determination is a right. When you have somebody demented like Kenyan Baribe saying on national television that you can't tell people not to fight for self-determination. What does self-determination have to do with secession? They are two different things. Self-determination, let me explain, it's a concept. It's a concept that emanated with the teachings of Socrates. And Socrates was going around the world teaching them about universality, about communal ownership, until his student Aristotle, because Aristotle was taught by Socrates, he came up and said, "Master, you are my mentor, but you got it all wrong. If you continue to talk about communal ownership, if you talk about equity distribution, the world will never prosper, because nobody wants to put in his best. The best way the world can go is a winner takes it all. You have the right to gain that which you are able to put in. What you erode also is what you reap. That is where the spirit of entrepreneurship came in. That is where we now get to the world of capitalism. The world of capitalism is about the world of self-determination. It's a concept that was born by Socrates and the student Aristotle. But when you have educated illiterates, that Dr. Michael Zucker, they call themselves doctor. When you see somebody, an educated illiterate like a Femi Falana who call himself a lawyer because you don't know how they get their son, and they go on national television and they incite the people. So, my brother, I'm not trying to say that this work is simple, but we have to start. We have to start somewhere. We have to be dedicated to it. We have to accept it as a fact. We have to. There's so much misinformation. That's why I give you an example. I gave you names of the people that are respected. They call them SAN, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. They are members of Parliament, and they are liars. They are bloody liars. These are educated illiterates. These are half-baked lawyers.
Thank you, sir.
But they parade themselves as SAN and go around and say this is in national television. So we have to start. We don't have to give up. What you have said today, I'm hearing it for the first time. As I'm going down to the east, I will lay it on the table. I'm going to have a press conference. I lay it on the table. I'm going to meet the governor. I lay it on the table. Because most of the times, the people you have back home does not even know what is right. They don't know what is right. Many of them are misinformed. They don't have right information. Nobody tells them the truth. That is why everybody that comes is able to exploit them. Listen, that is the basic problem we have. The Yorubas had universal education. All the social critics in Nigeria were Yorubas. Talk about Wole Soyinka, talk about Senator Dabo, talk about Aisholare, talk about Elekwa, talk about the former lawyer, Gani Fowemi. All of them were Yorubas. All the Anukola Okutis, all of them were doing what Ijele is doing. They were social critics. That's why Yoruba prospered. Awolowo was started by universal free education in the Southwest. That is, can you imagine? Can you do this at home in the Southwest? You cannot try it.
No.
Now, people are asking me, what did Emperor do? I want to ask you that you are listening to me. What did the godson do in UK that is in prison? Adeyinka godson has been imprisoned in UK for terrorism. You can't go to the north and say this rubbish. You want to have a sit at home. You can't say it in the north. You cannot say it in the Southwest. You can't say it in the South.
Let me thank you, sir. Let me jump in and finish up with our brother. So I will bring in IPOB again because he's the background, and we have one other person. So my brother, before I let you go, see what our brother Dr. Paul just said now is the ideological part of it, how to counter it and everything. But me, I'm going to be direct and physical. If you know the places they are receiving that nonsense, just give me the name of the place and the dial number of they are using to receive it on airway. You understand?
Very good.
You have my number, you have my phone number. Just write me secretly. Tell me where they are hearing it and where it's happening. I will just go and inform some people. Believe me, it will be knocked off. And the person in charge of it will be arrested. I promise you that one. Thank you so much for your wonderful contribution.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ijele. Yagas here.
Yeah. That one, Norofma.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. Yagas, yes, sir. All right.
So I will bring in our brother Obido Bienu. After him, it will be Onochie. Our brother is in the background. So let's bring our brother Obido Bienu. I think this one is going to take more than 15 minutes. So
I'm hiding in somewhere now. I hope I can get a good reception.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, going by what I was saying, I said I quite agree with some of the things that Dr. Paul said here, but at the same time, I do not agree to the point that we have to go and start begging. I mean, after millions of people have died in retaliation for the same purpose of 1966, I think by now it should be give and take. And I don't even understand the reason. There's no victor, no vanquish. And 3 hours were promised. Up to tomorrow, nothing happened. And
let me answer you.
What we see, my brother, just quickly, what we see after the whole thing, went back was a man from an East Central state. I remember Obabiasika, who came in after the war, and some other administrators, and Obabiasika coined the word of Oyulelu, Yala Chaba.
Thank you.
Public funds, and that has been going on. So now, how do we get out of this mess? That is not even our political leaders that are in place today, because all these people we are just imposed on us. I don't think if people had voted these people into power, that they'd be so wicked, like what you mentioned about Aba and other places, to be treating people like that. Let me leave it like this, but I would like to, in the subsequent editions or maybe some other places, have a good conversation with you, because this issue is more than just coming out on the platform or the forum to discuss some of the things and, things that we need to do to get ourselves out of this mess. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. You see, there are issues that we have to accept. Now, the Chinese general Sun Tzu, in his book titled The Art of War, said that the best way to win is to win without having to. Thank you. The Art of War. without having to shoot a single bullet. You see that now? There's something Machiavelli taught us. You see that now? And discussing strategy. You see, it's not important what to think of what I say. Now, the strategy you have adopted, has it worked? What we achieved is 3 million Igbos killed between 1967 and 1970. More than 500 killed. And today we have the worst image that we can never clean again. Cannibals in 2021. Has that system worked? Now, if you have accepted the fact here, because the fact you have accepted is that, yes, there was trouble, but we cannot go to beg. Now, first is intellectual honesty. Now that you are intellectually honest, then the person bear the wound. Now, I always say this, let me repeat it here. Now, when I slap you, you can decide to go home and not fight. The mafia, I live in a mafia country, I live in Italy. The no mafia avenge until after 5 years. When you slap a mafia, you go home. The next day will come and give you a drink. When he comes, the next day he will give me his wife to fuck. When he come, no mafia avenge until after 5 years. The mafia to show power took a young girl, put the young girl in a barrel, pour that sin and murder the young girl. That's mafia. So it's not important how you avenge. You can slap somebody with the side and say no problem. You can tell somebody he will kill you. But the fact that he has killed you does not mean that you are not wrong. He has avenged. So it does not remove the origin, the foundational problem. I'm talking about the root cause of our problem. The root cause of our problem is that Nine and Sab one day. We were ruling Nigeria together with them. Suddenly, they woke up one morning, we killed all of them. We left nobody in the north. Nobody remained. After Kaibu Sindausa, the only person that remained was Gowan. Makone Odevime caused my son first. Otherwise, they could have died. Gowan was the only lieutenant colonel that remained in the north. But we have brigadier, we have major general. We killed every Tom, Dick, and Harry that existed. Every important man in the north was killed. And we formed Egu, and started mocking them in their own time. Now, if you accept this truth to be self-evident, why don't you issue a major? Oh, well, let's put it behind us. You can start to say you are sorry if you are a bold man, if you are honest. But you can as well decide to say, oh, well, let's put it behind us and move on. Because we have collective interest. Because we have collective interest and Nigeria is not moving forward. Nigeria holds the destiny of the black race. No Nigeria, no black race. No Nigeria, no South Africa, no Rhodesia. Go and read the book called Diplomatic Sojourning by Joseph Nabengaba, the best foreign minister we ever had in Nigeria. So Nigeria holds in his palm the destiny of black man. Every 1/4 of every black man on earth is a Nigerian. So no Nigeria, no black race. Some say it's 1/3 of one black race on earth. So because we are stagnant, black race is stagnant. Do you realize that we had first equity in 1996? Are you aware that the same year Mercedes built the product at Ananko Enugu was the same year they started at Brazil? Mercedes, the same assembly plant. Nigerian first equity was formed in 1996. Are you aware that Buck and Bake started producing parts, motor spare parts? Are you aware in 1976? But today Nigeria is deserted, completely ramshackled. We have nothing to show. Only Bokushi are watching to observe in America. So Nigeria is stagnant. Nothing is happening. So we have to tell the South Africa did it, reconciliatory commission. We have to tell ourselves to totally heal the land. That's a good way to start. So whichever way you do it, the important thing is to accept this truth to be self-evident. Then we move on. Thank you anyway. Join me worldwide so we discuss. I'm free to talk anytime, any day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Just quick response, just letting you know, I'm not a part of a drama. I'm not a part of fighting. There are things we can do that is not fight. Okay, all we are asking is for equity, nothing. Okay, and if that equity is not there, as you're saying, you go say, America. I didn't get the education in Nigeria. I got it here. I had the opportunity here and I took advantage of it after almost dead in Nigeria. So let it be for another day. There are so many things you have said. There's so many truths that you have given. I was wowed actually when I turned into the program when you were hitting on the head. But at the same time, there are lies to be discussed, and we cannot, just like you rightly mentioned, the solution does not come on a social media.
Or barrel of the gun. Or barrel of the gun.
No, that's a drama. When this nonsense started, I warned secretly, came out and disengaged myself. But the chief drama, the narcissistic, disorderly individual, went the other way just to show power. And what happened? Your brothers here, the World Igbo Congress, okay, some of us are deluded. Okay, so let me leave it that way, my brother. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Yeah, we talk. Yeah,
thank you, sir. I agree. I salute you and thanks for coming. Hey, is it oh, I don't know what's going on with this. I need to bring on another people. Oh, Onochie is out. Okay, but we have another person to bring on to the screen. Hello. Good evening, sir. Hello. Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Dr. Paul. Yeah, hello, yes. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you for the opportunity. I was in the Civil War. I was in the war as a child. I'm 58 now. I'm 58 years old now. Sorry. I don't know. I can't get my laptop.
Yes, go straight to the question because you have poor network.
Yeah, so so the problem is I did some research in 2011 after Ojukwu died. So it made me research the war. What I found is that Ojukwu was not very keen. He wasn't a monger in the north. So he was very.
Oh, I think we lost him. We are losing him right now. We have our brother Onochie, and we are waiting for him. That man that just called now, his name is Paul, Mr. Paul too. Ego di Nikorobia is very vast in the history of the Biafran War, and he actually fought as a kid, as a child soldier. I hope he comes back again. I will. In fact, one of these days I will host a program where you, him, and Ichiobi Dobienu will come and educate all these young ones. So let's bring our brother Onochie. Hello, my brother.
Yeah, Ijele, can you hear me?
Yes,
I can hear you, sir. Go on.
All right, good morning. Sorry, it's morning here. I don't know. Good morning.
No problem. Go ahead.
Good morning, Dr. Paul.
Yeah, good evening from here.
Yeah, I just want to say a few things and commend you again, and also commend Dr. Paul. His initiative is good, and yeah, I listened to Henry when he was talking. He shared some of my view, so I won't be saying much. Than the issue of IPOB, I believe, has been put behind us. This is a time to sensitize, rehabilitate our people, and move forward. And I believe probably the platform you have and the one that Dr. Paul has will be able to take us there. Nigerian politics is something that I have said before. Whoever is the president today in Nigeria, because even if you bring someone from the north or anywhere, it will still be the same problem. So I think that the values of our people need to change. Over years, we've destroyed our values. So until we change our values, we will be able to enjoy good governance. And that has to do, I said it last time in my, chat with you, it has to start from our families. It has to start from our village meetings. There are communities I know today in Nigeria where if you are doing a youth election, you have to belong to Oboni. You understand me? If you are doing a youth election, you have to bring out like 10 million or 20 million and keep down. You get what I'm saying? So these are the problems. What our people are yearning for, our people are not more, we're not problem people. What we're looking for, what every Nigerian wants is good governance. They want to have water, they want to have school, education, they want to have good roads. As at the moment, I listen so much to people and they say we need to participate, we need to have young people in politics. What we don't understand is whether you put a young person there, it's still going to be the problem. The values are the same currently. Until we change those values, Nigeria will change. If you go to any office in Nigeria today, the man who is at the gate has problems. The man who, everybody wants to make things difficult, not because those things are difficult, because they want to get something out of it. So I think the politicians that we have today, they understand all this and they are just taking advantage of it. With whatever platform we are going to use, whatever thing that we are going to do, I will want to see a situation where we begin to educate our people again on what is what is values, what are the values that we want to counter, we want to take off from there, so that even when you put somebody in a position of authority, you will trust that person that the person will deliver.
You see, my friend, the youth we are talking about is Ugochinyere. What is the full name? This boy Nazuko. Why we have Ugochinyere?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. What is his name? Is he not Ugochinyere?
I don't know his name, but I think there are.
He can't go
exactly.
No,
forget about that guy.
No, one moment. Those are the youths now. They are the youths we are talking about. Have you seen the opulence? Have you seen the opulence? Those are the youths we are talking about. The youths we are talking about will be the senator that slaps a young girl. Those are the youths we are talking about. They are the youths we are talking about. These people, they are not I don't know the youths. All these people that are moving out to the emperor, I don't know the youths. Now, there is something we fail to accept. Sometimes I don't want to discuss Buhari because I have my disagreement to some extent, which is institutional. I made some of my positions very clear. I disagree, like I said, with one person being Minister of Finance, National Planning, Budget, and that person is not an economist. I disagree. I disagree with Fachola having 4 ministers. I disagree. I disagree with Amech having 10 ministers. I disagree. But when you remove that, the truth is that Buhari has conducted a free and fair election in other states. The truth is that Buhari has built Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. The truth is that Buhari has signed petroleum bill. Petroleum bill. The truth is that for the first time in the history of mankind, NNPC made again a profit. This is the truth. Another truth is that there is election bill. So you see, but that is my opinion, which may not agree with you. Part of the problem we have as a country is that we complain. No president, every president is a reflection of the people he's ruling. The people cannot be better than their president. The people cannot be better than their leader. Because all the leaders, all the politicians are reflections of Nigerians. So there has to be a reorientation campaign. Let us stop saying you to see. America has not been governed by a youth. America is governed by old people. Helmut Kohl was a very old man. The Queen is governing UK.
Thank you, sir. Let me bring on our brother Onisi Paul Mbanefo to come back and finish his submissions. Then our brother Onochie is back. And after our brother will bring the wounded civilian. Thank you so much. Good evening, sir. Welcome back.
Oh, good evening. Thank you. I moved.
Onisi.
Yeah, I think it's better
Yeah.
reception now. Okay. So the
Yeah,
point
yeah.
I was making, thank you. Point I was making is that Ojukwu is not to blame for the war. That's the only point I'm making. Because I know I did my research. At the time of his death, 2011, it motivated me to capital research. Yeah. Am I working about? Even though I was a young child when the war ended, 6 years old, I was 6 years old when the war ended. I was also, even then, aware of what the biggest thing about us, the biggest emotion we had as a people at that time, at the end of the war, was relief. When that war ended, we didn't care about winning it or losing it. We were just relieved and happy that we survived, because that was the type of pain that we had. We went so much suffering that our biggest relief, even as a child, I could see it. Even all the Biafran soldiers, they were happily throwing their guns on the street. There was a pile of guns right in front of my house, and nobody was angry. Just relief. Even the soldiers. So to now people think that war is a walk in the park. They don't understand what war is about. Ojukwu, he was detribalized. He grew up in the north, and also he's a one Nigerian at heart. He went through all the steps, all the diplomatic steps, even going to Ghana to sign an Aburi Accord. He couldn't trust Gowon, because he didn't trust that they would not kill him if he went and met Gowon. But he was willing to go to Ghana, yeah, to try and get a resolution. The problem that was going on at the time, for my research.
You see, my friend, Oga, you see, the point is that we need to start telling ourselves the truth about the war. Part of the truth we need to start telling ourselves is that we have to accept that the war was fought in an error. Now, I'm being strategic. One moment. I'm being strategic. Now, Ojukwu was the quartermaster general of Nigerian Army. He was the person that bought ammunition for Nigeria.
Yes.
Ojukwu himself is a soldier.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to a point. Let me just make my point. Yeah?
Okay.
So the point I'm trying to get to is that he did also try all those diplomatic steps, and there was also something going on at the time, was that most of our people were back home. Everybody had run away from other parts of Nigeria, come back home because of what? They were being massacred. People were being actively massacred at the time. There were trains. Those days we had train stations. These are from my research. I don't remember this personally because I was too young. But for my research, people were sending trains to beheaded Igbo people back to an Igbo. So there was serious pressure on Ojukwu. He wasn't in his instinct to cede, but the pressure of the people were telling him, we want our own land. We cannot be in Nigeria anymore when we're running from everywhere. You see, this is so, but that's not the main point. The main point I'm going to say is that Ojukwu had all this control. Like you said, he was buying arms, so he was in charge of arms purchase. Like you said, I didn't know that, but you told me. And also, he had complete support. 100%. Every man, woman, and child in Igbo land was fully behind Ojukwu. Yeah. So
only 1 minute.
He had that unity behind him.
Let me come, Onishi, 1 minute. See, at first, maybe because of lack of information, or because people don't have access to news as they do now. I believe, like when people heard the first message, they are killing Igbo, this and that. Most of them didn't know what happened before them. And when people say that all Igbos were behind Ojukwu, I tend to have issues with that, because if all Igbos were behind Ojukwu, those people that were hiding in the Senate, that were hiding in so many places, wouldn't be hiding. And Ojukwu wouldn't have been using child soldiers. Like, I don't know if you want to tell the story, but your story about the war, what you went through, what you suffered, the heavy lifting. I'm coming.
I was a child.
1 minute.
I don't know anything about. Listen, to be honest, I was a child. I didn't know anything about the war. I was a child.
That's why I'm talking, because Ojukwu was on. I would listen to interviews where Ojukwu were granted interviews to foreign journalists, and in each and every one of those interviews, you will hear him telling you that no, people were fighting, they are volunteers. Okay. These are volunteer fighters, but it wasn't true. People were babies were being ripped, kids were being ripped from their parents' homes and sent to the war front.
Yes,
and
I was
please.
I was there.
Please, there's a fundamental issue. You cannot fight war out of sentiment.
Yes, I know. Listen.
You can't fight war out of sentiment.
Listen.
Because war involves killing, taking of human lives. I want you are a father. Think of losing your son. Think of losing your wife. Think of losing your children. I want to give you a stupid example. Today, it is presumed that all Igbo people agree with Emperor. Igbo support Emperor. We have even some elders that go to Kano to go to Afro to beg for his release. Now, Emperor told me and you few months ago, let them come. Nigeria does not have ammunition. It's only 50 guns they have. Is it not AK-47? We have AK-47. Igbo have forgotten all these things. He told us 2 days ago, we have ammunition to fight. Now, it boils down that they are being killed now, and people are saying, outside killing me. Now, what do you expect when you kill a soldier? There's a fundamental point. Let us stop being sentimental. I love Ojukwu. I'm a member of the Kemba Front. Forget the war. The war is a colossal waste. There's no soldier on earth. We started the war as militia.
My friend,
with
I agree with you.
Machete.
Let him respond. Let him respond.
I agree with you. It's not something. The only point I'm trying to make is that it wasn't a decision he took lightly, and he had some political pressure from our people. There's no.
No, it's a lie. It's a lie. Listen, no, Zeke said no war.
Okay, let's not agree.
Wait, one moment. One moment. You don't have the information. Hold on. Zeke said there should be no war. He took Zeke, put him in a prison. Said no war. He took him back to took him in a prison. All of them. They were secluded.
That was after
so there were people that said no war. Let us stop passing this wrong information.
That was after
Igbo elders say all the politicians said that there be no war.
Okay, let's leave the Ojukwu thing. The only point I'm making there is that even with all the support he had, okay, you say he doesn't have support, but let's just say he had enough support. Yes, that there was no dissenters, too much dissenters.
Sentiment, like we support now the candidate today.
Even with that all that support, he couldn't win. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. The war, he couldn't win that war. That's what I'm saying. Even with all that support, you see, me and you we're trying to align now. He couldn't win that war, so the war is pointless. Yeah. Ojukwu realized it was a mistake to go to war. He said he was proud of the war, but he said he will not do it again. So
Ojukwu committed a fatal error. Ojukwu we lost our capital the first week of the war. We lost Enugu first week of the war. Ojukwu was a soldier.
I know. But listen.
If you were civilian, Ojukwu was civilian, I can say okay, he was provoked. He is a soldier.
Okay, but
war is about strategy. It's not sentiment.
It's
not sentiment.
There was not a lot of option. Our people were being massacred. There was not a lot of option on his hand. Yeah.
What led to the massacre?
I don't know. Oh, you don't know? I just know the history.
In Nigeria, anytime the things can flare up at any time, and people start massacring each other. This is Nigeria. You know how Nigeria is.
Now, what you do is
1966 coup. It was
Yeah,
that
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was something to do with that. It was that.
No,
Yeah,
sir.
of
I
course.
told the
everything.
history in this
Ojuku
video.
himself.
Everything. It has
So
everything
go back to
to
the
do
beginning of this video. Go this video, start it afresh. I said it here. What happened?
Okay,
with
okay, I'll do that later. But okay,
Thank you.
my point is, am I actually agreeing with you? War is not the answer. This is the whole point I'm trying to make, because he had all that. He had a full army behind him, a united region. Our region at that time had only about 3 states, or if I don't know, it's one block anyway. It was block, and he had all that behind him, and yet we couldn't win. So how these people think that
Let me leave you with this message.
we can win without a single senator, a single governor supporting?
Let me leave you with this message.
It's nonsense.
Let me leave you with this message. War is an ill wind that blows no one any good.
Exactly. Thank
War
you.
is an ill wind that blows no one any good.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Simple.
But you know what? You know who profits from the war? It's a white man. The white man profits for the war. So he's one that creates the war. Yeah, he's the one behind it all. Most of the wars that happen, he's behind it. So because then he can sell his weapons, he can employ his NGOs, he can and he can employ his construction companies to come and rebuild after you destroy your land. So this is our problem. And this present day IPOB people, they are agents of the white man. That's why they're all living abroad. All of them live abroad. Every single one of them, the leadership, they live abroad, and a good number of them are married to white people. So that just shows you the mentality. These people are not the type of people who have the love of their fatherland at heart. If you're living abroad and you're married to a white person, you don't have the love of it. So how can these people be leadership of a breakaway system, saying that they love for Igbos? That's the point I'm trying to make. And when I returned to Nigeria from UK, I returned for Nigeria almost 3 years in 2018. One thing that struck me was that there was a big explosion of these IPOB newspapers all over, everywhere, every newsstand you go to, there's IPOB newspapers. And it started from 2018 when I first saw it. And it continued. And I know it started before I even reached Nigeria. But this is what was brainwashing our people gradually. It's a campaign started from people very high up, probably people out of this country, the globalists, the UK, the US. They know what they're doing. They planned this thing for us. And what their plan is, let me tell you what I believe the plan is. The plan is, you see, everywhere in Nigeria now is on fire. Bandits everywhere, Boko Haram everywhere. And now we're starting our own down south. All this is planned by the white man. It's all planned by the white man. And the end story is what they want now is to get everybody in ID camps. These bandits are kidnapping people. IPOB are kidnapping people. Boko Haram are kidnapping people. They're going to put everybody in ID camps. And then they come and shook us a COVID injection. That's all they want.
Very simple.
Once we end up in the ID camp, shook us. This is the master plan. I've seen it. That's the master plan. So
thank you, sir.
We must not allow it to happen.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful contribution. Please let me bring on someone else, and I hope maybe one weekend we will do this one. We will have enough time. It was supposed to be like a 2-hour, but thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for a wonderful contribution.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Okoye. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ijele.
Let me bring in wounded civilian, and after he meets our sister. Hello. Hello, wounded civilian. Hello.
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 Hello, the Jill himself.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, welcome to the program.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go on.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank this our brother or our father, Dr. Paul Okoye. I really thank him. You know, I've been watching his interview, his video, is a man who believes in the truth. He's patriotic. He's indeed a real Igbo man who wants peace in Igbo land. You see, and to thank you too, you Ijele, you are fearless. You are bold. Well, what I want to contribute is this. First, somebody like Obido Bien is an elderly man. We must continue to respect our, elderly people, But Obido Bien is the one who nurture, who gave this monster milk, who build him up, who make him God, that he thinks he can order Igbo around just like that. And look at the monster he created, causing havoc, cannibalism, killing their fellow Igbo. Instead of our Baba, Obido Bienu, to take a break, calm down, relax, and quench this fire you set in Igbo land. Then you jump cheap, you are in another side, saying how you are going to get out from this contraction to contraction. No, go and quench the fire in Igbo land. You are causing more hatred. Tribes, every tribes in the south, they are seeing Igbo as if we are enemies. No, Igbos are good people. People say all kinds of manner of things sometimes and say maybe as if we hate Igbo. We don't hate Igbo. It is people like this, sorry to say, like this, our Oga or Baba Obido Bien. How can you create a monster like Ina and Dekan? Instead of you to take a break now, you are still talking about how you get out of a contract. What contraction? You can't divide Nigeria. It is you can't. It is very, you can't. You don't have the capacity to do that. But what I want to say is this. Are we not supposed, or the Southeast leaders, governors, people like our Dr. Paul Okoye, to how we can set up or build a rehabilitation house? Because we have problem in Igbo land right now. These youths, one Igbo guy called me and said, Ojukwu did not start the war. I said, Ojukwu started the war. He said, no, Ojukwu only asked for separation. Then when you ask for separation in a sovereign nation, then you are calling for war. It was insulting me that they are going to get me. In Adikanu training, it's just about 5 months in jail. Look at what they are doing to themselves. You are a traitor, you steal money, the other one steal money, you go die, I go kill you. A good leader train good followers. A good leader train leaders like him, people that can challenge him. When a leader train people that always say yes and yes, they think Ijele is just like somebody they can push aside and he won't fight back. When they were contributing money to they must deport him. I went there. I said, you see this little fire? That man, Ijele is not something. You think you just do all this thing, the man will just go and be crying and go and hide. It is impossible. But look at Ijele today. He's the one that is, man, I respect Ijele so much, but because he's fearless. And our brother, Dr. Paul Okoye, like my question, I don't want to stay too long. Are we not supposed to be talking about building a rehabilitation house? How we can rehabilitate these people, these guys, what they want to hear is Biafra. Anything other than Biafra, they can kill you for it. They don't want to hear anything. Some of them are lost of reason. They can, I don't know. They say that to them, they still believe in that Adikanu will come out. Do whatever we can, free our leader, and come and give us Biafra. So I want to ask Dr. Paul Okoye, are we not supposed to be talking about building rehabilitation?
Okay, let my brother, let Dr. Paul answer. Dr. Paul is asking, are we not supposed to be building rehabilitation houses in the Southeast?
Yes, we have to do that, but we have to take it step by step. The very first step is what we are doing, which is reorientation campaign. Because if you don't reorientate the people, building the camp does not solve your problem. Because it's a problem of the mind. It's a problem of the mind, just like I said. And I went so many, I don't know, so many garage boys. Look at the Facebook lawyers. When they came out from court the first day, they said that the federal government presented the accused is like a Okoye Agidi. And these garage lawyers were talking, the people were following, they were believing. So that the people are believing that the emperor will come out is because of what these garage boys called lawyers are telling them. So these are the issues. So we have to counteract the message in the first place. When you stop the message or to some extent, try to give the people, you see, the people have drank for a very long time dirty water. So you need to give them clean water. The Bible said that ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Then we can now come into reorientation, we can now go into rehabilitation. It's very necessary, it's a wonderful idea, and nobody has absolute knowledge. The more we talk, the more we interact, the more idea, the more suggestions come in. That is why we are working. So when I get down to the east, I start presenting to the government, start presenting to the house, we start discussing it. Because these are projects that has to come after war. After war, there's always an rehabilitation project. So I thank my friend, I thank my brother for what he has said. We pick it up from there. As I get to Nigeria, we'll start talking about that. Any the money, any the resources, any the empowerment for us to be able to do that. But it's not easy. We have to know, as I said earlier, part of our problem is so much illiteracy. People gave their brain to somebody to think for them. That's what brought us to where we are. So it will be a good thing that whoever that's coming to Igbo Nation will start by saying free education for all. Because when somebody has a basic education, there's an extent to which he can do certain things. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. My brother, wounded civilian, you can now wrap it up. So I will bring our sister, bless them.
Yeah. My last question before I go. This our democracy started 1999. And somebody from the Southwest have produced Obasanjo, and the North, Yadwa and Buhari now, and the South, Jonathan. And I know some people might disagree with me. The president power that's coming to the South, it's supposed to go to the Southeast. Normally, it's supposed to go to the Southeast because the Southwest, somebody like Obasanjo before, the South, Jonathan, and the North, Yadwa, and the late Yadwa, and the Buhari now. So power is supposed to go to the Southeast. And we all know that they cannot have destroyed the hope, the possibility, of power going to the Southeast. But some people said it is over now. The Southeast, they're supposed to, in fact, forget about the presenter power. But I want to ask Mr. Dr. Paul Okoye, is there any hope? Because you see now, the Southwest are warming up everywhere. You understand me? And if you go to Southeast now, they have the numbers really. But the Southeastern, our Igbos, they don't really understand, to me, politics. Because their population, the vote that is coming from the Southeast, I don't think it's up to 1 million.
My brother, and the little vote, my brother, let me even stop you a little bit. The little vote we are having, the little amount of votes we are having, is not because we are small in number. Like, you cannot pass 10 people anywhere in Abuja without meeting at least 3 Igbos. You can't. In many places, it's just that our political participation is so poor, and you have a large population of people who don't even want to get into politics. Now, the few people that go into politics, just less than 10%. Now you have about 4% of loud mouths that are there making noise, talking nonsense, and they don't even exist in reality. Mind you, we are talking about people who believe that a criminal, a fraudster, Brixton Baba will bring them Biafra, just one person. That is where the problem is. But I will let you finish your question with Dr. Paul. I just thought I should interject and correct some certain things. Please carry on.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Mr. Jelly, I know quite all right that in Lagos, we have Igbos. Now, I would say 30% in Lagos. I know we have Igbos in Kaduna, Kano, all over the country. What I'm saying, the Igbo that reside, in Southeast, they don't really understand the power of, votes. Igbos, the population, if not, it might be more than 50 million. You understand me?
Yeah,
But what we are saying, the numbers, the vote that is coming from the southeast is not enough. Like the west, they will say in Lagos they have 6 million, 4 million. Every presidential candidate would like to negotiate with the west because vote is coming from there. No, like that's how it seems. The boast of Kanu, they have votes in Kanu. But I know that the people in Lagos is also Igbo, the people in Kanu, but they are the one voting there. What I'm saying, why can't people begin to think of coming home? Like, look at Anambra election. The person that is going to be the next governor there, by 130-something votes. Meanwhile,
it's not even up to 120. It's not even up to 130.
You understand? Meanwhile, in the last year election, the governor now is ruling there with the votes with 360-something thousand votes in Edo State. 360,000 votes as a governor, and the person that took the second position about 280-something thousand votes, and in Anambra, southeast, we are expecting as if at least 1 million. So what I'm saying, Igbo have to come home. Like when it's time to vote, don't listen to Ina Adikan that is telling you your vote don't count. It's just deceiving you. Your vote don't count. Your vote don't count. It counts. If your vote don't count, make it count. So Igbo, sir, what? This is my last question, sir. What do you think the Southeastern people supposed to do? Because for 2023, any hope? What are we supposed to do? Thank you, and God bless, Mr. Jill.
Thank you, my brother. So, Dr. Paul, you can answer him now. He will be at he will listen. Then after you answer, we'll remove him. I want him to hear
you. Briefly, my friend, you see, I've said if you listen to the beginning of this program, I address some of these issues that you have raised. What we need to do is political awareness to start with. I want to give an example. Nigeria was a place nobody paid attention to politics. When Buhari came into power, he created Mansa and brought in Professor Jerry Ghana. Jerry Ghana went around Nigeria to teach Nigeria what politics is. From there, Nigeria became politically aware. So we have said, and we'll continue to say, Igbos are politically naive. So say go kainashu, forgetting that with power, we make that money 3 times. Forgetting that somebody who has power can destroy that money in 2 seconds. So we are politically naive. That's what we are trying to. That's why we're going to Umuahia to draw a program, a project. I've said, let me repeat. There's nowhere on earth where leadership is by majority. So I'm not scared of the majority, west or not south. Leadership is about strategy, is about investment. If it is by majority, we will be ruling Port Harcourt. But Igbos are not ruling River State. We are not ruling Delta State. So it's not by majority. It's strategy. It's investment. It's wisdom. It's having a project, a sellable project. That is why I want to educate my people. I want us to tell them that let us talk presidency. Is it going to be Mwako or Moye? No, let us draw a project that in 2023 we should be there at the drawing board of who becomes this, who becomes that. That is how to start. If by circumstances or by fortune or whatever we become the president, it's good. But you don't plot to go and be president. You plot to be part of the people that decide toward power. There's a roadmap to that. That's what we are going to do at Umai. So I thank you for your question. I advise you listen to the video because we almost 3 hours gone. When a program like this goes such a long time, people may not listen. So that's why I'm trying to
let me bring our sister Let me bring our sister Blessdom, then we will wrap it up with her. Blessdom, are you there? Okay, she's here. Let me bring her into my sister. Good evening and welcome to the
program. So long, I was almost about to. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much. Good evening, Dr. Okoye.
Good evening.
Yeah, I mean, you spoke very well. For the first time, I'm hearing a logical perspective, so that is not filled with all these victim mentality, victimized emotion, and it must be somebody that is doing it. Like the last brother that was commenting, He couldn't help it. Akopiyeba, Obayeba, they remove her hair. He ended up point. There has to be somebody, you know. So thank you so much for calling out for introspection. My question is, how can it be that after what Ojukwu did, that his image is uplifted as a hero in the psyche of young upcoming Igbos, and that people are looking up to his warmongering as something of courage or something that can be emulated? Because I feel like that is the foundation of the problem that we are facing. In it lies, is embedded this mentality of victim. We are victim, the Hausa, the Yoruba, because the person that brought calamity was uplifted and elevated, and a museum and every edifice you can think about, psychologically and physically, built in his name and his glory, just because he managed to be the one that killed the most number of indigenous population, just for his ego trip. So this is just what I want to understand.
Yeah, you see, my dear, I have addressed this too, but let me answer you. That is why we have come out. That is why we are leading this campaign. And I'm begging you to join it. Join Nero. Leave your number, add in the forum. Call to Umuahia. From Umuahia, we are going to the Igbo Day to unify the Igbo nation. We have allowed that concept for a long time, as you rightly said. Ojukwu, rightly or wrongly, is a soldier. How can a soldier initiate a war with machete? We lost our capital the first week the war started. People were telling him, don't fight. He had nobody. We are discussing a fine scholar. If we are to be an illiterate like Emperor, I can understand. But he's not an illiterate. He had a master's degree in political history from Oxford University. You don't buy a degree there. So somebody who has a master's degree in political history from Oxford University knows what is up. So, as you rightly said, it's ego. Who cares? He was making a point that does not exist anywhere on earth. Gowon cannot rule. That's why I call him Jack. He never called him President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Gowon cannot rule because Gowon did not organize a coup. If the coup succeeded, then Murtala Mohammed should rule. If the coup did not succeed, Ogundipe should rule. Who cares? You didn't organize a coup. Murtala Mohammed organized the coup with his young officers, so they decide what happens. So the war was fought out of favor. Again, we have lost the war from the beginning, because before the beginning of that war, Gowon did something technical, strategic. He divided the East, and he created the South-South, and will remain the Southeast. So from that, we lost that war, because we are all landlocked states. There's nothing we could have done. So the war could not have started in the first place. I discussed personally with Mbazulika Amechi. Mbazulika Amechi told me that they told him not to fight. He put all of them in prison because he wanted to fight a war. I spoke with Mbazulika Amechi. Mbazulika is still alive. I spoke with Igbo Reeds. All these people are still alive. They saw the war. So it is time we start telling our people the truth. The war was a total mess. It was a genocide. It was, we decided to go to the Golgotha ourselves. We decided to, just like what we have today. People are forgotten that a few months ago, what happened in India, how did this start? Emperor called a world press conference and said that the only thing he does not want to see in Igbo is for soldiers and police. And he ordered this boy, any place they see soldier, they should kill the soldier, they should kill the police. The first killing was at Akut Junction. The second killing was at Umuledi. Now, today, people forget how it started. All sentiments, all sentiment. There's no other way we can do it. The way we can do it is this way we are doing it. Talking, class action, coordinating, taking it as a responsible thing. Commitment, committing ourselves to the struggle. There's another struggle. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. But there has to be a struggle. We have to be committed to, we have to fight. So there's a group. Nero is registered. Join Nero. Go to our website. Leave your number, put it to the group. We are going to Mwahia, but we have to start. We can no longer wait because Anyamoro will his turn tomorrow. It could be my turn. It could be the turn of my father. It could be the turn of your father. But we have to start. We can no longer afford to wait. And it was suffering. Our people are dying.
Yeah, thank you so much. One more thing. I think that, you know, it is said that if the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? And in so doing, I feel like you cannot do anything other than rebuilding that foundation of the psychology of an average Igbo man, to let them understand that actions have consequences. And if you go to war, whether you are, it doesn't matter however happened, but a soldier, a renowned soldier led you to a war and you lost. And that loss always comes with heavy consequences. That means they are not victims, they are participants, and they must take that and accept that their role. And in accepting that, they would have to punish that person that put them through that thing and bring that glory, that glorious image. It has to come down. And I feel like as long as that image is there, somebody like Uwazirike will come and hang on it. Somebody like Naya Boy Anime DSSL will come out and he will also hold on to it. And who knows, so many other people that is looking around. Look at Obieno. He's an elderly man, but he has wasted so much years, so much resources, soiled his hand with the blood of our people, chasing this same rat race, hinging on this false glory, false claim, you know, and it is difficult for him to let go now. So it's like, you know, there are, if you notice people who run in these groups, like Wounded Civilian was saying, when they leave one group, they don't have time to think it through and say, wait a minute, as they are leaving this one, they are entering the next one, fiam. As they are leaving that next one, they are entering the next one, fiam. Because the foundation has not been destroyed. And they have not been able to look back from the foundation and dig it up and lay a new foundation. I feel like we cannot lay a new foundation when the image of Ojukwu is still there, because that's the start of this madness. And another thing is education, like you said, you know, beyond saying free education, there has to be some collective moral values that goes beyond how much you have in your pocket. Because that how much you have in your pocket, it doesn't matter how you get it, as long as you have that money in your pocket. And that thing has made Igbo people to ruin. It's like a locust, you know, when they are coming like this, everywhere they go, you know, they leave that trail. They leave that trail everywhere. And something that could have been a capital for us in the last how many decades, that window is closing. Igbo people had the privilege to travel around different countries. It could have been a strong network that would have pulled from to synergize. But what did they do with it? They run amok, go there, raise everything down, get as much as they got, and get, you know, where are they going with it, you know? So, yeah, I think that this is just really my contribution. And I appreciate you for being honest and all your efforts. And thank you also, Igele, for letting me contribute here.
Thank you, my sister. Please, you suppose you gave me a name. Now, what did you call it? Hey, Nahabuha is DSS. Nahabuha. Thank you, my sister, for your wonderful contribution. And our people are greeting you as the Sabo
I
mother.
greet everybody. Good evening, my people. Good evening, Florence. Yeah.
We are greeting you here. Thank you so much, my sister, for a wonderful contribution.
Thank
and I can't see him downloading them.
Oh, bye.
Our brother Paul Okoye
Good
is
night.
back. The good night. Hey, Odisi, welcome back to the show. Please,
Thank you.
we can now let's be drawing everything down now. Let's land this plane right now. Please use like 5-10 minutes to wrap everything up. And again, you tell people how to get you. Although I've pinned the Igbo Royal Heritage Facebook page here, so they will follow it. Please use 10 minutes to wrap it up. Let's go to sleep. It's now longer than we thought.
Yes. Oh, it was a lot of vehicle. Anyway, gentlemen, like I said, it's a clarion call. Like our sister just said, oh, mmadụ na-edozi obodo arịka obodo abụrụ ụgbọgwụ, oh, mmadụ na-edozi obodo. So mmadụ ga-edozi ya n'Igbo. The very first thing is that each place I go, any person I've spoken to, they accept that n'ife adịrọ mma. Akọrọ m fụ onye sị na anyị Igbo etu o si dị kịta n'ala ya. Everybody is saying the same thing.
Excuse me, sir, please. 1 minute, sir. Please, we need to accord IPOB the opportunity to come and respond to something our sister Bless them said. I hope it's not going to take too much time, but please, you can still gather your thoughts. Let IPOB come on. Let's just do it now. Let the same audience that heard when our sister Bless them talk hear him also. Ichie, good evening, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening,
Thank you so
everyone.
much. I appreciate that that you allowed me in. And it's important that when people talk, they get information. It's not about running mouth over the air and accusing people for nothing. Today, I heard the cry of. I thought I had the cry of what we are going through in our place, which I went through with. Okay, so I know exactly what I went through in Nigeria before I left. So the call for us to extricate ourselves from the ongoing evil is not a bad call, but for somebody to be saying that I spilled the blood is way out of context, because you were there when this issue of ESN came up. We condemned it to the highest level. I have never supported anything illegal to go and jump on people. As a matter of fact, I will look to the for the broadcast wherein I warned that if you look at what Ojukwu had during Biafran War, that it was way much than what you claim stolen guns. So I don't know what you're gonna do with stolen guns, fighting with stolen guns. So for somebody to come out on a platform that the world is listening, accusing me, thinking that I'm going to one forum or the other, it's a personal friend. And even during the time that he was in Turkey, that IPOB was attacking him, I was not part of it. I was just listening to what he was saying, and at the same time trying to understand his point of argument. Okay, so our people need to stop accusing people unnecessarily. And this is the Cold War that's ongoing. Because if this woman that is called Blessingdom, first of all, that's not her name. And the other one that called as a wounded civilian, that first of all, is not his name. And I have my full name here. Whenever I make introduction on platforms, I give my full name. I don't deny where I come from. I have not come to any struggle, regardless of the blame that people may tend to blame. Even United States, as I am here, people fought for their freedom. Usually when people are fighting for their freedom, they are seen otherwise. The only thing I'm against is somebody fighting immature or going out and ranting and making noise. How do you want to tell your enemy that you are coming? We saw that and we warned against it. And there's never a time that we planned to wage a war on Nigeria. It was a clear-cut diplomatic process, which we were getting information. We hired a group here in the United States who were advising us on how to approach our issues, looking at what we're going through. Okay, anybody that says that we are not marginalized, I don't know where that person is coming from.
Anyway,
Okay, and they are using our own people to do the evil bidding. Okay, so anyone that is talking against that is lying. Anybody that tells me that society, Nigerian society today, is how a society should be, I don't know. Well, that's probably why
you see,
consider the people are
you see,
okay, so
Obidi,
I don't appreciate that people will come here and place myself as a killer or supporter. I never supported evil. I never supported any killing. Okay, thank you. I'm listening to you.
What I suggest is that we take another appointment and discuss this matter, because we've done 3 hours. Nobody will watch a video for 3 hours. We have to be honest.
And when I came in,
we have to be honest ourselves. So the more the video extends, the more the video extends, the more it makes it weaker. So the maximum you get is 1 hour 30 minutes. Otherwise, I could have liked to reply you, because fundamentally there are some of the issues people did not take into consideration. Now, somehow you did not understand that Ikewa, Nigeria, and Igbo are the Ivory Coast, Yoruba are the Ghana, the North are the Chad. First, we lose our importance in the Committee of Nations. I'm talking about in a situation that will succeed in Biafra. Because
we are not asking for secession, my brother. From the onset of this struggle, there was no secession. All we are asking is for equity and justice. That's all. All these people that are carrying
one moment. Now listen, let's discuss this matter some other day. Because like I said, everything was wrong. The method was wrong. The approach was wrong.
What is doing today wasn't what he has a criminal intent. Nobody knew he has a criminal intent. And let me give it to him, my brother.
What he's doing today.
Excuse me, only Paul Okoye, 1 minute. He said something. You know, some of these people were roped into thinking that doing things for our Igbo people.
That this is what we planned initially is wrong. Okay. No, none of you. And when I wrote to Ejila, I said, where are these type of men before all this thing? Neighbor abhors vacuum. Nature abhors vacuum. Okay, if your message has been out there since, who will listen to Nnamdi Kanu? If the people have done the right thing, who will listen to Nnamdi Kanu? But Nnamdi Kanu came with a message, united all of us for one reason or the other. Everybody loved themselves. When I host people here, when people are coming from outside states, I pay for their hotels. What a love, in that direction. All I came in is with love. I didn't come to behead people or to kill people or nothing else. Just like you're making this call today. Okay, once what a call you are making, when people come out and see that what you're doing is right, and then you get out of hand and start becoming an emperor, because usually that's what happens. Even as you're introducing all the people that will be speaking there, I was thinking, there we go again. Because there's no, call people by Mr. Stop all this because that's what happens to people. If you're Dr. Answer Dr. Paul. Don't say Dr. Professor Paul. That's nonsense. Okay, so there's no need to be giving ourselves all those accolades. Meanwhile, let us organize that, not on this forum, because it's going to be people that is going to come here. Obedience is an elderly man that is deceiving our people. How do I deceive my people if not standing on the side of the truth? When I notice that our people are being killed at home, that's the first question I ask. I will share that voice with you, Jen. When I called him, I said, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I stepped back. People claim Uchemefo was bribed by a Soludo. Did Soludo come out one day to deny that? Okay, and Uchemefo is living with that bad nonsense that he was bribed with 60 million and he shared with Obi. And now somebody that didn't know me will come here and say that I spilled blood. God forbid bad thing. God forbid bad thing. Thank you, Jelly. Thank you so very much. There we go. Now I'm listening, please. Let me listen.
You see, my opinion is that we pick another day to discuss this. If I have to go to reply you, we'll have another 30 minutes to talk. Because, like I said, fundamentally, juridically, everything done was wrong. Because if somebody wants to reform a nation, there has to be political action. You form a political party. You start inside the system. When it starts from outside the system, now people don't understand. People felony is not only when you pick a gun. When you advise a police officer not to do his work, you have committed felony. Now, murder is a crime, but that's accessory to the fact of murder, which is the law of conspiracy. Aiding and abetting is murder. It carries the same offense. So when people don't understand this, it makes a nonsense. So again, my own opinion is that we have 15 minutes. So everything that's here, I don't think we're going to
1 minute. Only support. Wait, he's responding to something you said. Please, Ichie, go on.
I said you cannot tell me that the policing in our land today is right. I'm not saying that it's okay to go and kill people. No, because this is not going to be one-sided. And this is why I came to Jealous. I love what you said. I came and I said to you that this discussion is not going to be on air because a lot of people are thinking differently. Okay, you cannot justify that the police actions in our southeast is okay. You cannot justify that the besieging of our land with army and police, even before Nnamdi Kanu, is right. And everybody
Ichie, let me address that one. Listen. If you are talking about where police are disturbing and like a menace in Nigeria, number one place is Edo State, Benin, to start with. Then, if you are talking about the place police extort people most on the highways, it goes back to the same Edo State. If you are talking about where police murder people so easily, it goes back to the same Edo State. Now, what Usain Bolt did was exploiting the anger and sentiments of the people. You people were in USA, you love hearing news about what's happening around. Then you'll be saying this probably the worst police people you will see in Anambra State are those ones you see between Orif and Ozo. Those ones. Maybe someone who have an encounter with them will now use that thing and say, yes, what this guy is saying is true, is that. Yes, there is a fundamental problem in Nigeria. Let me unmute. Pardon?
You see, my friend,
I'm not believing but the police is what the police is doing in Nigeria.
My people. Okay, thank you. I think we'll come to the. I will come to the end of this program. I think one day I will host a program between Ichiobi Idobieno and Dr. Paul Okoye, and it will be a civil conversation. We will be at one corner. Listening while they converse. I want to thank everyone for. Thank you, Ichiobi.
That will be appreciated.
And the Ichiobi, I will send you his number. I will send you his number.
What is happening in Nigeria is not governance. Anybody can go.
We know, but this IPOB nonsense is not the answer. Thank you, sir. For being a part of the program today.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you, viewers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yellen.
No, only Paul, you have to wrap it up. Okay. Now, only please use 5 minutes to wrap it up. Let's go to bed. It's 19 minutes after 11.
No, definitely we have almost touched all the part. The issue, the aspect I want to address is this blame game, the continuous belief. Now, Nigeria, the point is that if you do the right thing the wrong way, it becomes wrong. That is what I was trying to tell our brother. there's no point discussing the approach that is faulty. When an approach is faulty, there's nothing good that can come out of a faulty approach or a faulty situation. So the approach is faulty. I was trying to make him understand that the law of felony is not when you take a gun and go and kill somebody. It includes when you tell the police not to do his work. So if you have any intention of reformation, you cannot reform from outside the system. You should reform within the system. All along, we continue to complain the action of the police in the southeast. Who is saying that in Africa that things are working? Who is saying that Nigeria is where Nigeria is supposed to be? Nobody is saying that. But I'm still trying to say that our approach is not the way it's supposed to be. And when you do the right in the wrong way, it becomes totally and completely wrong. If you want to go and listen and analyze how Nigeria got to where we are, we have to take it from the errors, the political blunders, starting from Obasanjo reform, starting many of the things that happened in this indigenization decree. Obasanjo woke up one day and reformed the hospital. Now everybody can go under his garage and open a hospital. If you go to government also, it becomes a consulting clinic. So there are a lot of things that went wrong in Nigeria. We had the second tier foreign exchange market. So if we want to discuss this issue, we find out time to discuss it. We cannot discuss it at this hour of the day. So I will appreciate, like I said, to reach Nero worldwide, go to our website, www.nero.com. Join Nero worldwide, leave your number.
That Nero is spelled N-I-R-O-H.
Yes.
Somebody please type it here so I can pin it. Finish up, sir.
N-I-R-O-H. Our website is www.nero.com. Follow us on Facebook. Join the campaign. Like I said earlier, all mmadụ na-edozi obodo. Obodo adịghị ka obodo abụrụ ụgbọgụ. All mmadụ bụ n'obodo na-eko. All mmadụ ga-edozi ya n'Igbo. Anyị niile gbafucha. Anyị na-agbakọ ugwu onye. Ọ bụ ndị ọcha ga-ebedo chukwu ndị asa ga-edozi ya. So it becomes on us. And Igbo calls all of us to order, calls all of us to work. So let us join hands together to leave a bequeathing legacy for the succeeding generation. Onye kọtara aka onye na kene ndị Igbo si na dibịa gbasara gị aba ịgba uche gị. Ọ bụ pastọ si gị
na-agbara gị afọ ị na-agba uche.
Ị na-agba uche gị. Ọ bụ pastọ si gị ma nne gị na nne gị bụ amosu ma nne gị ụla. Pastọ si gị ma nne gị na nne gị bụ amosu je eke ni ma nne gị ga-eje n'ime deliverance ka ọnụla kịta. So we have done it wrong. We have ọbụna if the way an Igbo is signifies that we have not done the right thing. Etu an Igbo today speaks for itself, because the problem is that we are the most backward, when we are the most prolific and most egalitarian. So the situation of an Igbo speaks for itself. So I don't know what else to say. I've said, okay, they cannot have a capital. So even a state house, Noka, and they use container women office. Will you be 109 political advisors? How do we explain all these things? We have to accept that we have not played our own role. We have not done our own part. Nobody's asking them questions. He was not putting Willie to govern a number state. He was putting Willie because somebody that will not probe him. Willie now is bringing in solution. Who knows their call that is underground? So these are our problems. We have to come to realities. We have to address it. We have to rise up and live up to expectations. We have to hold our destiny by our hand. We have to hold the bow by the hand. We have to say no to this impact. We have to say no to this incarceration. To be able to leave a bequeathing legacy for the succeeding generation. And if we inherit the better than this one. So we must do everything we can to leave a better Igbo for the people coming after us. If we leave this Igbo for the Mwakanimuta, then we are wicked.
Yeah.
Trouble. Nigeria, I came up in Nigeria. We are not going to go and get both to come and rule Biafra. I came up in Nigeria. First, you have to know is that now can our own debt. Because I used to when debt in Nigeria with 2 million debt. I mean, we carry their own. Let's assume it comes, but it shall never come. So the time is now for us to come back home, for us to become realistic, for us to become objective, for us to eschew sentiments. You don't fight a war out of sentiment. Dalunu, share this video, join the worldwide, join this campaign for a new and better Igbo nation. All hands, I say, must be on deck to leave a bequeathing legacy for the succeeding generation. Long live Ijele, long live Ijele, long live Igbo nation, long live the worldwide, and long live
Dr. Paul Okoye too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful contribution today. We appreciate you. I thank you, and I hope to host another wonderful one with you. I wish you all the best. And our people, if you want to participate in that, I will be sharing the flyers here. So that day, if you are around Umahia, you can go visit. You will have opportunity to ask questions and understand how things are being done. Thank you, Onisi. I will let you go right now.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Good night. Good night, friends.
Good night. Oh, my people. Yeah, it's been long. I did a 3-hour video. It's been long. Yeah, thank you everyone for being a part of the program. Guys, you can like the page. It's a new page, code 234. It's the dialing code of our beloved country, Nigeria. And you can also follow me on, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ijele Speaks. That's my name on YouTube. You can go to the YouTube channel right now. And those of you on YouTube, please remember to hit the like button. It helps the video with the algorithm. And remember to subscribe if you've not done so. Those of you that have liked and followed the page on Facebook, please turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any live video. Thank you everyone once again. Hope to see you next. Good night.